Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
This week, in Denville, New Jersey, pools of blood, knives, and a pig mask make up an especially violent and creepy murder scene that leads to an even stranger explanation. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
That's right. Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another wild edition of Small Town Murder. And this is no different. Wow, is this a weird one. They get weirder all the time, and we're embracing it. We love it. It's crazy stuff. You're going to hear about a wild murder. Before we get to that, very quickly, just want to say thank you for everything, first of all. Tickets are on sale. Shutupandgivememurder.com is where you go to get your tickets. Apparently, they're selling like the first half of the year now, and then in early 2023 the second half comes out. We had no idea this was the plan. We did not know. We weren't told this is Live Nation's plan, and they said this is what you're doing, and we said huh, and they went yeah, and that's it. So it's
Don't worry,
okay.
it'll be fine.
It's fine. We're okay with it. I think you can get up through Pittsburgh through May 6th right now, and then the rest of the year will go on sale in like a month or two. It's not a big deal, so get ready for those, everybody. We'll get all pumped up. Tickets are flying off the shelves, though, especially
they really are.
St. Louis. Get in there because that is like in a day it's almost sold out. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Get in there and get into St. Louis and all the other ones too. Cleveland too is our first show.
Let's
we'll kick it off February 10th. Thank you. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Murder.com is where you get that. Merch, everything like that. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all the bonus material. And we pump out the bonus episodes like nobody else. We're told that we
really do.
Our Patreon is the most reliable thing you're ever going to get here. And it's anybody $5 a month or above. We don't care if anything else gets raised in price. Patreon is $5. That's it.
We are the Costco hot dogs of Patreon.
It's never, the Arizona iced tea of Patreon. It's $5. And what you're going to get for that is a whole back catalog. There's like 150 episodes of bonus stuff there. And every other week, you're going to get 2 new episodes, 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. That's hard to say. You'll get access to it all. This week, what you're going to get for crime and sports, so much fun. Crazy stories from the ABA, the American Basketball League, which was the pro league in the 60s and 70s. So you're going to hear crazy 60s and 70s stories. There's some really crazy people that played and some wild backstories. It's going to be so much fun. And then for small town murder, we're going to talk about, finally, because we talked about blaming music for murder and blaming things like that, books and stuff. We're going to talk about a big giant swath of this video game, people that blame video games for murders. We're going to talk all about that and see what the hell's going on there, because there's been so many cases of that. Patreon.com/crime and sports, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the show, of course, where Jimmie will mispronounce your name terribly while he's desperately trying to get it correct. That said, disclaimer, this is a comedy show.
It is.
We are comedians. All the story is as real as it gets. There's nothing about that, no embellishment for comedic effect or anything like that. We do and try to do the best research possible, and then talk about how absurd everything is that happens here. Because anytime there's a murder, the idea of, I think I'll kill that person, that's an absurd idea. Maybe I'll get away with it. Yeah, that's crazy. We're going to make fun of you for that. We are, because that's the only recourse we have as comedians. So, what we do, though, is we go out of our way to not make fun of the victims or the victims' families.
Why, James?
Because we're assholes.
Yeah, but
we're not scumbags. That's how that works. So that sounds good to you. We're going to have a blast. If you think that true crime and comedy should never, ever, ever, never go together, then I don't know. Maybe we're not for you, but give it a shot, as I think maybe we are. I think we are. I think we're a good match. I can see it in your eyes right now. I can feel it. So if that is you want to have a good time, I think it's time, Jimmie, to sit back, clear the lungs. I don't care where you are. Shout it out the car window as loud as you can on the elliptical. Clear that gym out. That's right. Scare the shit out of your pets in your house and shout, "Shut up and give me murder." Let's do this, Jimmie. Shall we?
Let's go.
Let's go on a trip. Here we go. We are going all the way. Oh, man, it's a banner day. Going all the way to go to New Jersey today.
Yeah.
Oh, always a pleasure to go to New Jersey.
I don't mind flying out of Newark.
No, it's fine.
I really, every time I go, I feel like Tony Soprano. It feels really good. Because every time you see they're flying anywhere, it's at that goddamn airport.
Yeah.
So every time I pull up and see that little silhouette of the fucking welcome area, I feel I fucking woke up this morning. Every morning.
I wake up every morning.
Get myself a gun.
I like when you're driving to New York. As soon as the first hill starts, that's welcome to New York. Like they were like, whenever the hills stop and it gets flat and marshy, just give that to them. That's what it seems like. So I feel bad that New Jersey got like bad land.
I love it. I just love that area. Newark, that airport's fantastic.
Jersey's actually not a terrible place. It gets a bad rap, but it's actually pretty nice if you drive around
the people.
New Jersey. The people are terrible, let me tell you. No, Jersey people are cool actually because they're like New Yorkers, but they have a little bit of it's Jersey. I get it. Like they know. You know what I mean? They have the same kind of attitudes like Philly people. They're like, yeah, all right, we're not the best. Fine if we're not the best, but we're here, motherfucker. We're here.
We're right here.
So you can't ignore us. You can't
right next door.
You can't ignore us. I like it. I like that.
I can see you from here.
I love that attitude. This is in northwestern New Jersey up there. It's about an hour 21 down to the capital, Trenton, New Jersey. Yeah. About 55 minutes to New York City, so very commutable. This is a commutable town. About an hour and 55 minutes to Berlin, New Jersey, which was that our last one? Yes, our last New Jersey episode. Jesus. An Arrow for Your Thoughts, which was a crazy episode.
Oh, yeah.
That was wild.
In the fucking yard.
In the yard. That was very New Jersey. It was an Express episode, and it was, wow, it was as Jersey as it gets. It was like West Virginia and New Jersey had a baby, and this episode came out. This is in Morris County, area code 973. Motto, and really, this is all you need is this motto to draw the people in, the hub of Morris County. Oh boy.
Thank
wow.
God.
Man, I'm shopping for a house right now.
Yeah.
We need to start a business. It's a hub, Jimmie.
Everything spins from right here.
All of Morris County? Really? Holy shit. History of this town. The researchers have said that the earliest European settling happened here in about 1690.
Sweet Christ.
Yeah, this is old school. The early settlers were Dutch and English from Long Island. They came over like, over here, oh, yeah.
All the way from Long Island.
What about this over here, huh? What do you say? All right, what do you look at this? It's all right. We good over here.
It's
all right,
pretty good.
Is that right? All right, we'll set up shop. I don't know. I'll make us sauce sandwiches. We'll think about it. You know what I mean?
It's not bad.
Who you want? Eggplant parm? All right, I got you covered. That's what's going on.
That sounds hilarious. Settlers from
Long Island.
Long Island.
That's why I had to say it. Also, Quakers from Philly.
Yeah.
They were like, it's a little too rough in the streets of Philly. We're going to move to a quieter. And then Germans, of course, because you got to mix some Germans in. William Penn, who's Pennsylvania, and several other people began to take surveys and stake out lands in the area of Denville around 1715.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. So they started by 1730. They're putting up forges and mills and all sorts of shit along the Rockaway River. And that's how it goes. There was a crane company there, the A&B Crane and Co. Oh no, it's not a crane company. That's just the person's name. A.B. Crane and Co.
Got it. Whatever company he did.
If he doesn't make cranes, I think he's really missing the boat.
He's blowing it. Yeah.
He's blowing it, man. He had it. It's all right there for the taking.
My man.
That's what I mean. So
cut some trees, use some rope, get a pulley. Let's get it going.
Do something, for Christ's sake. They said the name Denville can be traced to a den of wild animals located in the swampy regions along the Denbrook and Rockaway River. The animals would, I guess, lay out in the sun on a knoll that juts out into the meadows, and that's where the local natives would hunt them. And
oh my God.
They said that's the basis for the names of Denville and Denbrook, which are another town.
Wild pack animals living in holes, and we'll just set up shop near them.
Well, that's what everything was in the whole country. I mean, it was there's nobody here, so the animals were doing their thing. Famous people from here. Well, Babe Ruth had a summer house here. So he hung out here sometimes. That's nice, I suppose.
Babe Ruth fucking holidayed in Jersey?
Apparently so, yeah. I mean, well, he's from Baltimore and he plays in New York. So, I mean, that's kind of right in the middle, honestly. So
yeah, I suppose,
it was like, how about Jersey? And then I don't know which one this is, and I didn't bother to check. It's the oldest Jonas brother lives there. I don't know.
Oh, one of those.
One of those. I don't know which one.
He's still there now?
I guess so. I don't even know how many there are. So whichever.
There's three. There's
three. Okay, great. Good for you.
There's a younger one, and I
and
think
then a middle one, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a middle one? And then I think
You're
an older
using
one.
logic. I like this.
I think an older one. Not sure. Oh man, reviews.
There's three of them.
Three of them. There's three. So a trio of Jonas brothers. Well, the oldest one is here. Reviews of this town. 5 stars. They love this place. Denville Township is a wonderful, caring community. We're lucky to have an amazing downtown filled with shops and eateries.
Okay.
I hate when it's like you can tell like the head of the local chamber of commerce writing it. So they're just gonna like this isn't an advertisement, it's a goddamn review. Residents support each other, the community and the businesses. It's just all one big circle jerk, and it's everyone's happy as shit.
Everybody's getting after it.
There are many activities for young and old alike, whether a parade, trips, a duck race, a polar plunge, fundraising, a farmer's market, a harvest festival, etc. None of those things sound like fun for young. Those sound like a lot of shit.
They're really trying to make it a small town feel within an hour of the fucking biggest city ever.
Which is how it is, though, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you drive as soon as you hit Yonkers, it's all trees. You know what I mean? Past Yonkers, it's all trees here. So that's kind of how it is in either direction. Going south, it's the same way. You get out of the city. Let's see. We have an easy access to most major highways and a train station for easy commutes wherever you're going. In truth, we have it all! ! Point. Just a victorious review. Yeah. 5 stars. Oh boy, this is great. It never gets too hot or too cold here.
I fucking don't believe it.
Yeah, it does get cold there, and it does get super hot. If it gets really hot in Philadelphia and it gets really hot in New York City, and you're right between those places, it gets hot there. Let me tell you something. You're not at 6,000 feet elevation or something. There's not a giant mountain you're sitting on top of. It's not Switzerland. What are you talking about?
Also, the other point is, I've been in New York. It gets fucking cold.
It's cold. He goes on to say the thunderstorms are never severe enough to cause damage. Natural disasters typically do not happen around here because they're more inland. So, they don't get the hurricane. There was a small tornado about 7 years ago touching down and then going away, but haven't had one since. You don't need to write that.
They generally do go away.
They go, it's just spinning. Well, that one's been spinning since 83. I'll tell you what. We're trying to get rid of it. We got big fans, and we all just tried to push it out that way.
Everybody's blowing.
We sent Bill up just to talk to it. He's good at talking, so we figured maybe he can convince it, just talk to it. It didn't listen.
Kid's been throwing rocks at it for 12 years, and it's just eating them.
It's just throwing rocks. It's crazy. Remember when Chet drove his truck into it? He said, fuck it, I'll take one for the team, and it just sucked him right. He's still spinning. You can see, hi, Chet. You can see him spinning around. Oh, there he is again. Hi, Chet. He comes around.
He didn't even ghost ride the whip into it.
He just drove it.
He stuck with it.
He's stuck up there. We can't get him out.
He thought he's going to ram it. No, that ain't happening. Because it's a ram. He thought, I'll
just ram it out of here. They go away. During the spring, it rains a decent amount. Really?
Yeah.
Is that how spring works? Raincoats are a good idea. Thanks for telling me how to dress. Thanks for the fucking rain. You asshole.
He wrote that and pressed enter, huh?
Whoa. He just told us this is how you should dress in the rain. In case you don't know. Okay. This is a review just for their own children. Just for their own small children.
Raincoats are a good idea.
Wow. During the summer, is this all about weather? Anything else? During the summer, there are scattered thunderstorms. Yes, that's the summer. And sun showers every so often. Oh, my God. If this person says sun comes out every morning, sets every night, I am going to find them and hunt them. The fall starts to get colder. Jimmie. You're writing this down? This is heady stuff. So
is there going to be a test, sir?
Oh, it gets better, this sentence. The fall starts to get colder, so jeans and long sleeves may be needed. No shit. Gets a little chilly out. You put some sleeves on. Wow. How have I been living my life? Hey, if I get hungry, should I eat something?
Is this a weatherman turned apparel salesman?
What is happening? Hey, should I breathe in and then breathe out also? Or should I just hold it for as long as I can?
The holes in your shoes are for shoelaces.
That's what they're telling us. This is like a 4-year-old wrote it.
It's incredible.
My dog likes ice cream. This should be the next sentence. The past winter seasons haven't been too bad. Minor snowstorms are common. So,
not a word about jackets.
Not a word about you should put a coat on. Nothing about getting a shovel. None of that shit.
No scarves or gloves. Come on, man. I need you to help.
Give me a break. I'm asking for help here. 4 stars. People in this area have been raised like me, and I feel like I can connect with them. Gee, you feel like you can connect with people you've known all your life? What you're really stretching your horizons there. I feel like I can really connect with people who are from the same place I am and raised exactly like me. I don't know what it is, but I feel like a kinship with them.
I feel like I have some stuff in common.
Strange. 3 stars. Okay, getting worse. It has a lot of character. Many restaurants, family-owned stores, and other cool stores reside in Denville. That means it's old, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of run down. There is so much to do, and most neighborhoods are kid-friendly. They tend to be. No kids in this neighborhood, unless it's a retirement community. The only downside to Denville is the amount of hate that goes on. People judge others based on income and wealth, and their children take on it as well. Take on it as well. I don't know. They messed that up. Plus, there's a lot of unwritten and archived crime. I don't know what that means. Unwritten crime, archived. But overall, the physical parts of Denville are pleasing. So they said, nice place if it wasn't for the people, is what they're saying. Yeah. But that's interesting. And you get that with a lot. Anywhere commutable, you get the people who work in the city, make more money, and then you get the people who work and live. You
can't afford to, work.
Yeah, and they look down. They're a separate thing because that's where I live too. Poughkeepsie's like that as well. Yeah. There's like kind of a separation of that kind of thing. Whether you're a townie or you work in the city type of deal. So 3 stars here. There are many places around here for employment. That's good.
That's great. Yeah.
The mall is a big area with many job opportunities. Okay, what kind of employment are we talking about? There is a hospital nearby, as well as many bankers and people involved in the food industry. So you can work at the mall, a bank, or you can sell Carl's Jr., it seems like. Those are your options here.
You work at the bank, you work in the food court, or you work at a Macy's.
Yeah, that's strange. And then 3 stars finally. Hurricanes or blizzards happen on occasion here, and it's best to prepare ahead of time in terms of flooding and shovels. Okay, good. Now I know how to dress, and I know what to prepare for, too. Thank fuck for these reviews. People in this town, 16,362. So pretty small town. Yeah, more female, 52.5% female. Median age is a little bit higher, 44. It's suburban families is what you're getting here. That's what's going. 62% married, lower divorce rate, less single people with children, all the hallmarks of a suburban area, essentially. So race of this town, 81.7% white, 2% black, 8.3% Asian, 6.6% Hispanic. So that's what we got there. Religion, 60% of the people here are religious, and there will be no surprise at all when I tell you that 42.8% of the people here are Catholic. So, as we know, Catholics are Baptists of the North, and 43% nearly of Catholic. That's a lot. 1.6% Jewish. Oh! Hey!
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's been so long. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila. I don't know the words. Hey! Fuck yeah. My send dog over here. I love it. So, politics of this town are pretty close, actually. In Morris County, last election, 51.1% Democratic, 46.9% Republican, 2.0% Independent. So it's pretty even there. Economy of this town, unemployment rate is about average, but the median household income here is high. Median household income here, $105,135 a year.
Holy shit.
So you're getting almost twice as much as the national average. So
they have so much money.
Getting a lot of people that work in New York City make a good living, and then they live out here. Median home cost, though, because cost of living normally $100, here it's $128, so it's a little more expensive. Yeah. Median home cost here $439,600. A little on the pricey side.
God.
A little on the pricey side. So if we've convinced you, goddammit, hey, you know what? Bring a sweater and some sleeves and jeans. But other than that, I feel like you'll be good. We have for you the Denville, New Jersey Real Estate Report. Your average 2-bedroom rental here goes for $1,926 a month.
Oh, my God.
Which, compared to New York City, though, that's not bad. You know what I mean? Here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I don't know what it is about New Jersey, but they don't like to include square footage for some reason.
It's weird.
Don't know why. It looks like it's about 1,500 square feet, though. Kind of your typical North Jersey house. It's one of those. It's just kind of regular family house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You can see a couple of delinquent kids hanging out on the front lawn with denim jackets on, with like an REO Speedwagon patch on the back or something. Yeah. Whatever goes on in New Jersey in the 70s, I'm picturing. That sort of thing. Not great. We'll put it that way. Not a great house, but fine house. $389,000. That's kind of your.
It's not so bad.
That's your average. Here's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It looks a little bigger, though. Looks like it's maybe 2,000 square feet or so. It's such a strange thing. Its decor is like Southwestern style, which makes no sense in northern New Jersey. I don't know. Maybe that was big in like the early 90s everywhere, so maybe they just haven't redecorated since the early 90s. That turquoise and there was a lot of that Southwestern style was big in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, in the early 90s. I guess you were in Arizona, so it was just always there. But in the rest of the country, people started really going nuts with the turquoise and all that shit in like
wood and shit like that.
Oh God, yeah, like 1992-ish. Oh, it was huge. Oh, it was fucking huge here. Huge. So there's it's a weird house, I gotta say. There's a bowl of apples on the floor for some reason. I don't know if their dog eats apples. 650,000, maybe. I don't know.
Holy shit.
650 for that. Then 8-bedroom, 9-bath, 6,411 square feet of really ugly house. It's fucking ugly. It hasn't been. It's tacky. It looks like where Henry Hill went when they got the white Christmas tree. In Goodfellas, when he got out of jail, he's like, pack, let's get packed, Karen, we're moving. And then they end up with the white. That's the type of place it is. It's like very cheesy, but from 1992. The kitchen's all black and white, but 92 style black and white. Staircase has mirrors on it. It's fucking weird.
What the fuck?
Very weird. $1,324,900. It is
1.3 for 6,000 square feet.
Yes, 6,500 almost. But you have to. You need a complete redo.
You got a lot of work.
It's gonna cost you $500,000 at minimum to start fucking making this place work. It looks like shit. So things to do here. Okay, the Fleetwood Lights holiday display.
What is that?
This is a guy's house that he decorates for Christmas, and it's on their things to do list, like right at the top.
It's on Fleetwood Street or something?
Well,
let's see Fleetwood.
Let's hear him.
Let's hear it.
Describe it. For my day job, I'm an IT professional that's been in the industry for over 20 years. My wife works as a librarian at a New Jersey public school, and my daughter Mia is in elementary school. And she's in the Girl Scouts and all this type of shit. She goes on to talk about the kids' Little League team. This guy goes on. Oh, this display had started as a friendly challenge between two coworkers. In 2014, I was challenged to a light-off by one of my peers at work. And looking for something different, I was introduced to RGB lighting, which allows you to change the colors of bulbs and add a twist to your standard lighting displays. Okay. In 2015, we had set up a mega tree, which adds graphics and animation to the traditional lighting. Holy Jesus.
Oh, my God, he's doing that because he's an IT guy. He's computer programming the lights to do
He's doing all sorts of crazy shit. So, yeah, that's what's going on there is this crazy light display in this guy's yard. We came to the area in 2008 and always had an interest in decorating for Christmas. It's a weird hobby. I love decorating. We're already all decorated up, and we're not fucking around.
I love it, and I can't wait to do it this year. But this is too much. I can't do this.
November 1st, Sarah starts pulling shit out of the basement. She's like, all right, here we go. It's Christmas.
I love Christmas, but in my HOA, they don't let you decorate until after Thanksgiving. And who the fuck wants to decorate the day after Thanksgiving? Who wants to do that?
That's true. Also, you could probably challenge that because you could say that that is...
They got religious freedom?
Yeah, you could say some shit like that, I'm sure. That's what I'm sure someone would do.
And it's Arizona, so I could say anything religious in that motherfucker, and they're gonna cave.
You could shoot at the tornado, and they'd be like, good idea. Let me try. I got a bigger caliber. It's fine. Nobody cares.
It's wild there.
It's wild there. So there you go. That's what there is to do. There's also a jazz festival with people I've never heard of, headlined by the Walter Trout Band. So I don't know what the fuck that's
Walty
about.
Trout?
Old Walt Trout's coming to town.
Hey.
Crime rate in this town. What we are interested in here, the property crime is about half of the national average. So it's... pretty safe. And then violent crime, murder, rape, robbery, and, of course, assault, the Mount Rushmore of crime, is about 1/3 of the national average. So this place is safe. I mean, an hour from Manhattan and safe as fuck. So not bad. That said, let's talk about a murder. What do you say, Jimmy? Let's do this. To do this, we have to get in the time machine, but we don't have to go back too far. We've had a lot of 70s cases. We even had like that early 60s one lately. Today, we're going back to 2009 to talk here.
Okay. It's not so bad.
2009, 2010. So everything that you have now, they had also. So you could text. There was fucking Facebook. I think Instagram started the next year. You're good. Yeah. Everybody's doing fine. There's iPhones now. Everybody's doing fine. People are trading in their BlackBerries at this moment in time.
And people are giving their children their iPod because they got an iPhone. That's what's happening. And you can call me on that when you want to, on the Wi-Fi.
Only if you're on Wi-Fi, though. Otherwise, it'll do nothing.
Otherwise, go fuck yourself. I'm not paying for a phone.
Yep, you have no one to talk to. Tell you what.
Leave the house, you're very bored.
Who do you talk to? Who do you know? You say to kids. Who do you know?
Me.
You got to know. What are you, 9? You don't know anybody. You don't know anybody. You don't have friends. You don't have business deals you need to further. You don't have like your plans for later. Your plans are what I tell you is happening.
You can call me to find out when I'll be home to talk to you.
That's it. And tell you what your plans are because I'm your mother or father or anybody. So let's talk about some people. Let's start out with a couple here. What do you say? A nice couple. Yeah. First up, Anthony F. Novellino. Oh, fucking Anthony over here, right?
Well, I guarantee that F is Frank.
It's probably Frank.
Yeah.
Anthony Frank Novellino, especially if he's from Jersey. But this point, too. He was born like right when Frank Sinatra was coming out. So maybe he's named after Frank Sinatra. I don't know. Either way, and it's Northern Jersey. You never know. There's a lot of kids from Northern Jersey born in the 40s and 50s named Frank for Frank Sinatra because he was from Hoboken. So he at this in 2009, he's 62 years old. He's working as a security guard at this moment.
Yeah.
And he's kind of upset about it because he apparently had a different job where he worked in some kind of factory where he was a production supervisor for a long time and was making good money. And then when they do layoffs, they lay off the older guys who are the higher salaries.
Bastards.
And that's what they did. And he was kind of booted out of a job. So he got a job as a security guard making $10 an hour instead.
Oh, poor fucking Anthony.
So now he's 62, and I've worked plenty for $10 an hour. I've worked for $5.15 an hour, so no one's sniping. I'm just saying,
for $2.13 an hour.
Oh, I've done that plenty, waiting tables, but I made way more money in tips than I did at the job where I made $5.15 an hour straight. You know what I mean? So, but he when you're 62 fucking years old and you've worked for 40 something years. And then they go, "Oh, we're going to pay you the same as teenagers make." Then you're gonna feel like shit at that point. You know what I mean?
It hurts. Yeah,
that hurts.
Like you wasted your life, fucking all kinds of time.
And it's not, when you're 62, it's not like you're like, "Well, I'll just go back to school or I'll go start a." But you're 62. I mean, it's possible, but
viable to the workforce.
It's possible, but it's not. Even when you're done, you're not the most attractive person to employers when you're 66 years old. That's all I mean. So
that happened to my dad. He was laid off at 63 years old.
What do you do? That's kind of what happened to him. I think about 60 he got laid off, this guy. So that's that.
He got cancer and took a leave of absence, and they had to do some layoffs, and they're like, "Get rid of the cancer guy first."
Let's cut that cancer out, if you know what I'm talking about. What do you say?
Let's get rid of the tumor. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's cutting it out, and so are we. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked, God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. The most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's SONOBELLO.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So he ends up as a security guard for Randolph Services, and he was assigned to a security detail at United Jewish Communities of Metro West New Jersey in Whippany. So that's where he ends up, and that's where he's working on a daily basis. He's got a lot of friends in town, too. Yeah. They've been here a long time. We'll talk about it because he's got a wife and everything else. His friend Frank Castora. Hey, it's Frank. I'm Frank Castora. This is my friend Anthony over here. This is great. I'm going to have so much fun.
His name's Frank, too.
This is wonderful. Yeah. His name's Frank Castora. That's his name. Francis Castora.
Oh, Frankie Frank.
Oh, Frankie Frank. He says that Anthony was good friends with him for a long time. They shared, they were in the American Legion and the Rotary Club together.
So they're both vets.
They're both vets. We'll talk about that. He's been in the military, and so that's what I mean. This guy's been in the military. Mm-hmm. Judging by his age, if he's 63 then, so he was born in what? That would make him
60.
No, that would be in 2009.
2009?
So he was born in 49. So that would put him in pretty decent Vietnam range. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he was in the military,
yeah.
He was probably in Vietnam. So in that range, and then he gets a job, he works, he goes up the ladder, is a supervisor and all that, and then gets shit canned, and they're like, here's $10 an hour. So he's not exactly having a great time at the moment. But
no, he's probably furious.
Ton does all these activities. This guy Frank said that he was even a pallbearer at Frank's father's funeral. Anthony came over and held him up for him. You know what I mean? So
nice,
he said they spoke frequently, and they would kind of talk to they would sounding boards for each other. Like when they were upset about something, there was a guy they could go to and go, I got problems. This fucking broad or this one over here.
The old men situation,
and they could commiserate together. I'm sure at 4:00 in the morning in a diner or something.
Yeah, having 2 beers each because 3 they can't walk.
They can't walk and probably afford it either at this point.
Yeah.
So, he does save some money up, as we'll talk about. He's got a little nest egg. He's got a wife also, does Anthony. Judith is her name. Her maiden name was Luzzi, Luzzi, probably Lutzi even. Judith Novellino is her name. She's a year younger than him. They've been married 37 years by 2009.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is like,
That's so impressive.
37 years. They have 2 kids, Christina and Anthony. Anthony's the younger one. Anthony's about 25 now. Okay. Christina's about 30, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Judith, is a teacher at Morris Catholic School, Morris Catholic High School in Denville. She's been a teacher there for 30 years. Or 25 years at this school. She's been a teacher for 30 years. She teaches English, French, and English as a second language there. And she also works as the school librarian as well.
Makes you want to go strangle the fucking businessman that laid this guy off. He even waited. You know what I mean? He was in the service. He waited his whole goddamn life here working away. He waited to have children even until he was fucking in his 30s. This guy,
until they were married a few years, settled, had a house together.
She's a teacher, the most fucking consistent job on the planet. And it makes you want to strangle a guy with his own fucking tie. You prick, looking at the bottom line.
This Anthony makes a couple bucks too much. We could probably get one of the younger guys to do it for half this, right? I think so.
Fucking jerk off.
You know that's how it went, too.
Ah.
You know it's how it went.
I hate men in suits.
Right? Doesn't that piss you off when you hear that?
Oh.
Yeah.
The
He came in his
numbers.
work boots upset. You know, that sucks.
Looking at
Fucking
numbers
annoying.
and not giving a fuck about
Yep.
people is so gross.
That's kind of how it goes. And also, this was during the 2007 economic collapse is when he lost his job. So
God damn it.
tons of people lost their jobs during
Yeah.
that. That was just a whole fucking, it was a free fall, economic free fall. So
Right.
not good,
And his
essentially.
house isn't worth shit either.
At that moment, no, everything
No.
went in the toilet. So that was tough. Everybody loves Judith. She is called a wonderful mentor. They say that for the kids, the school has a lot of international students. And those kids, she's really good with. They said she's like a second mother to those kids because she's teaching English as a second language. So she gets to know those people. The principal says she has a very loving nature with students and friendly with everybody. Just a lovely presence in the library and the halls. So, there you go. They love her. She's great. She accepted the new position of teaching English as a second language a couple years before that, and she liked being able to connect with these kids from around the world. She thought that was cool and thought it was fun. So it's weird here because they buy this house here. It's on Cliffside Trail. The address is 16 Cliffside Trail is the house in Denville, and they move in there. They've been here for at least 25 years, almost 30 years. So it seems like they moved here when they had their daughter is probably the progressive actions here because they lived in Newark before that. Oh. So that's what you'd do. You'd live in Newark and then you'd have a kid and go, oh, we got to move out to the suburbs, So that's kind of how they did it. So their neighbors, Lynn Dexter, and there's a guy named Vlatsa Papasil. They're a couple of neighbors. Dexter called Anthony, quote, the mayor of Cliffside Trail.
Yeah.
Every street has a mayor. You know what I mean? He's that guy on this street.
The bane of your existence.
The bane of my existence. Friendly guy, wants to talk. I don't know. We have nothing natural to talk about.
Yeah, remember you go to a car show or something with your dad and you're like, he's just being the mayor.
Oh, no, my dad, I heard about this. There was some in Fishkill, New York there, because that's where he grew up. There was like a festival there in the summer. It was like right after kind of COVID was dying, so it was like this big thing outdoors, so everybody was there. My dad just stands in one spot and knows everybody and just stands there and talks to 300 people for a couple hours. And he's like, all right, let's get out of here. You're like, what the fuck was that? He knows everybody. It's wild.
My favorite story because your face was like, I was like, oh, you went to that thing with your dad? And he's like, he's the fucking mayor.
He's the mayor. It's crazy. He should just run for mayor. He'd probably win. He knows everybody. It's fucking silly. It's really silly. I mean, good for him.
Awful.
I've been, since I moved back to New York, it's almost 2 years now. I have not run into one person I know back here. Not wonderful. One. The only person I've run into since I've been here that I grew up with was in Orlando at our show. That was it. It's the only time.
Oh, yeah. That gal from kindergarten or whatever. Yeah.
I've known her for my whole life. That was it. Yeah. Not here, though. Never around. It's so strange. Isn't that weird? Yeah. So anyway, he's the mayor of Cliffside Trail, which that's very familiar. And they said he's outgoing, friendly. He's always out working in the garden. So if you walk by with your dog, hey, how you doing, Judith? And this one and that one, he's one of those people. So friendly. Everybody likes him. They live there. It's a split-level house on a winding street that overlooks Indian Lake. So it's a very nice area. God. It's a super nice area here. Everybody in the neighborhood, this is one of those neighborhoods where people live here forever because it's just a... And
they give a shit about everything around them. It's awesome.
It's everybody takes care of everything. They say that he visits his friends all the time. He's very social, Anthony. He goes out visiting, going to go see this guy, having lunch with that one. Yeah. Goes and he has the Lakeland Flyers Homing Pigeon Club he's a member of.
What?
He's a member of the Homing Pigeon Club locally even.
I assume to be a member, you've got to have it too, right?
I would assume you can't just show up and be like, I just like to watch birds, man. Like, they'd probably be like, really the fuck out of here. Yeah. I just like watching them flap. You know what I mean? There's something about it.
Why are you running that seam on your jeans, weirdo?
What do you think they would feel like flapping around in your pants? What do you think that would feel like? Would it be, you think it'd be good?
think they'd slap each thigh with each wing.
Think they just
trying to fly away, but you can't.
I feel like
in there, isn't it?
I feel like a wing job would be hot right now. What do you think? You guys line me up for a wing job or what here? I just feel like it'd be kind of nice, you know? Soft feathers.
Little buddy. Keep flapping.
That's creepy. We are creepy right now talking about people being hot for pigeons. That's not us. That's some guy at the pigeon club. But that's what he's into. He goes to the American Legion. He goes to the other thing. He's, the Rotary Club. He's in a pigeon club. He's got lots of friends. He buys and sells stocks. Also, he likes to buy and sell some stocks. Nothing huge, but just it's kind of a hobby of his.
Stocks playing around,
yeah. Likes to drive his car too. Loves his car.
What's his car?
It's a '92 black convertible Mazda Miata. So, this 62-year-old man driving around in this fucking 25-year-old girl's car. What has happened?
92?
Anthony just, look at it. It's beautiful. 17-year-old convertible Miata, and it says pride and joy. He fucking loves this thing.
Hilarious. That's like that car's only, that's like the first or second year.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a piece of shit by now. Yeah. They didn't even work the bugs out yet.
No.
Like, he's just like, I don't
care.
care.
It's the really round one.
Yeah, it's just like a little tiny, it's like an Apple computer mouse. That's what it looks like. I'm holding mine up. See, Jimmie?
It's a fucking 2-seater little girl's car.
It's a 2-seater Apple mouse. iMac mouse. That's all it is.
That's hysterical.
That's what he's rocking.
That's his favorite thing.
Oh, man, is he proud of his 92 Miata. He loves it. I just picture him too, like, because he's got the convertible, so I figure it's probably like a mid or later life crisis thing. So I picture him driving, and it's like 43 degrees, and he's got the fucking top down.
Yeah,
and he's like,
heater going.
How you doing? Yeah, he's talking to everybody.
Glad they salted the road.
All right, yeah, glad the roads are salted. As flies up into his eyes. Snowbanks go by next to him on the side of the road.
Oh my god, 92. Does it have did he do a motor swap and he's got a giant 454 in it or some shit?
Yeah, he put it up on some blocks in the front yard there, and he was really working on it for a while.
Really tubbed the ass end, put some giant meats under the bag.
The way you're looking at this is completely different from what it's actually the opposite. You know how he acquired this car?
How did he get it?
Couldn't have been less of like a going to replace the motor, swap it out, and really get some horsepower in there. He bought it from a widow in the senior housing facility that he worked as a security guard in. So some 90-year-old lady was selling her Miata because she probably can't drive at night anymore, and he was like, pride and joy.
I got $2,000 for you.
Yep. And there he is, and he loves it. And it was probably in great condition if some old lady had it. It was probably mint. It probably had 14,000 miles on it.
It's the best car to get. Hell yeah.
That's who you buy it from. So he does that. Also, there's nothing but positive about Anthony at this point, and Judith. The two of them are just a positive couple. Everybody likes them. She's at the school. Everybody likes her. He's the mayor, practically. Right. So he also has one very strange beef, though, with... He's a weird guy, Anthony, when it comes to like these little things. He has a weird beef with a cafe owner.
Oh?
A diner, a guy named Alan Wilson, who says he's had confrontations with Anthony Novellino over the past 4 years because Novellino would come into his restaurant and bother his customers without spending a dime.
What?
Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know what he was bothering them about. I don't know if he was like talking to them about pigeons or something, or... I don't know if he was
Miata for sale.
Yeah. I don't know if he went in there kind of like the mayor and just like was like chatting with people because he knows them, like walked in and he was like, hey, this one, hey, that one, and just kind of went around talking to people. And this guy got mad because he didn't buy anything, or I don't know what, or if he was going in there fucking with people. It seems out of character for him to go around messing with people. It's just weird. But this Wilson guy said that Novellino was an, quote, angry little man who also, quote, frequently pried into other people's business.
Oh, I wonder what that means.
Mind your business, Anthony. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, Jesus Christ.
How are they doing? Worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself, all right? Don't worry about how the Reuben is today. It's fine, okay? Yeah, this Wilson goes on to say, I had to kick him off the property. It got so bad. I was going to get a restraining order against him or file charges.
I want to know what this is.
All it is, from what I understand, he was in there talking to people, and when this guy said, hey, you going to fucking buy something or not, Novellino was probably told him to go fuck himself, and then they had a beef after that. That's all I can imagine. It escalated because he's the only guy he seems to have any beef with, which is just weird. Yeah, because everybody at the Pigeon Club, down at the Homing Pigeon Club, everybody there says he's a good-hearted man who's always eager to help out anybody, friends or strangers. So I don't know how you can how do you justify those two together? How do you merge the Alan Wilson's version of him and everybody else's? I don't understand.
Tells me you approached my guy the wrong way.
That's what I mean. I think maybe you went up to him a little strong. Maybe you should have.
Maybe have a look in the mirror, friend.
Yeah, maybe embarrassed him in front of his friends. You ever think of that? And you say, hey, what are you doing? You calling me a fucking deadbeat? You don't think?
You think I can buy a fucking bagel? How dare you?
Call me a deadbeat in front of my friends? Is that what you're doing? Sonny, I mean. Sorry, more Goodfellas talk here. So he said one guy, Joe Fornaroto over here.
Of course it is.
Joey Fornaroto. He said of Anthony Novellino, he said that Novellino sometimes even helped him out in his yard. He'd come over to his house to help him out if he had a big job. That's what a good fucking guy this guy is. He said he also installed windows on his pigeon coop for him as a favor.
He put windows in my pigeon coop.
Nice guy, right?
That's a hell of a guy.
Nice guy. Just don't ask him why he's not buying anything, because he'll apparently not be fun.
Don't call him cheap, for Christ's sake.
I guess not. A guy named Tony, of course, said that he gave Anthony some pigeons to get them started on his pigeon hobby in the early 90s.
Gifted him the hobby.
Tony gave Novellino the pigeons because he was interested in them, and he said, well, here, you can take a couple to start with. I got a bunch of pigeons there. And then they did the pigeon thing.
Girl.
Yeah, he did the pigeon thing together. This Tony guy said, when I was sick, he helped train my birds. He was a good-hearted soul. He liked to help everybody.
I believe it.
So that's interesting. Now, come 2010 here, there is this sounds like a glorious little home. He's got a nice family. The kids are out, empty nest, they're empty nesters. He's driving around in his convertible Miata, hanging out in the garden. That's
what he worked his whole life for.
Yeah, fucking around, got a lot of friends, and she's knows doing her job, and she's happy in it and feels fulfilled with the kids and all that sort of thing. By 2010, there's a for sale sign up at the house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and you wonder why. Why are they selling it? What could possibly be going on? I mean, is it just because downsizing like some people do? Maybe they're moving to Florida. Who knows?
Hey, that's very common.
They're moving somewhere warm, or like retired people do when they retire. Nope, they're selling it because they are going to get a divorce.
Oh, no.
Yep, and Judith and Anthony are going to get a divorce. In 2009, this all starts. One of the big points of contention between this couple is their son. Oh. Their son, Anthony Jr. here, which just makes me think of The Sopranos even more, because it's AJ.
It's fucking AJ. What's he doing? Is he fighting at school? Is he ripping his shirt? What's he doing?
Much like the real life Anthony Jr., because that kid got in trouble too.
Oh, God, it was
the actor.
Yeah.
Not just Anthony Jr.
The
character, the actor, and this guy, all of them in the story that we have. If your name is Anthony Jr. in any aspect of your life, you're going to be all fucked up. I apologize for that.
You're going to be a mess.
You're AJ. Apparently, one of the main sources, though, of strife in this marriage is that AJ here, Anthony, young Anthony, gets arrested a lot.
Oh, boy. Is AJ using drugs?
Oh, yeah. He's using a lot of drugs, and he gets arrested to the tune of like 15 times in the last few years.
He's 25?
He's 25. That's the type of... He's like the local guy who always gets arrested. That's him. So
he's in the system now. It's not going to stop.
Oh, it just keeps going. He's got a huge drug problem, and that's the main issue. He's had a huge drug problem since he was younger, and it's spun out of control to the point of him constantly getting arrested, being in jail, and that is a big source of contention is between Judith and Anthony is differing views on how to deal with this problem. How do we deal with it?
Yeah.
Do you send him to rehab?
Mom's view?
I don't know who thinks what. But somebody thinks we got to embrace him, send him to rehab. Somebody thinks we got to let the system take care of him. Maybe if he goes to prison, it'll fucking straighten him out.
That's a terrible choice.
Yeah, I don't know who decides what. I'm going to say probably the teacher says, let's hug him. And the father probably says, it'll be fine. Get him in there. It's fine.
Let him be in there and rot.
He'll find some other guineas to get along with. It'll be fine in there. It'll be all right.
Here's the thing about 15 arrests. There's going to be a 16th.
There's going to be we'll talk about it. There's a 17th, as a matter of fact, by the end of this episode. There's a lot going on. So 2009, they're getting divorced, the couple, Judith and Anthony. They're getting divorced. Judith files for divorce in September 2009. Okay. She accuses him in the papers of threatening to dissipate hundreds of thousands of dollars in assets to protest the divorce action. So basically, she's doing this so he's going to spitefully try to hide money on her so she can't get money from him. She estimates in the documents his net worth at $800,000.
Holy shit, he's done great.
Yeah, he socked away a couple of bucks here. So after a little while this goes on, she ends up renting her own apartment in Parsippany. She goes and gets her own place, and she would go to Denville once in a while when he wasn't there, when he's at work. She'd go to pick up some more personal belongings, and she was kind of moving back and forth, she was moving in kind of a little bit at a time. She was living there, but then she'd go, if you live in a house for 30 years,
oh God,
it's really hard to just pack everything up and go. It's going to take a while to come back and this and that.
Yeah. I've lived in mine for 2 years. It would take me, Jesus, I can't imagine.
It would be so hard.
3 weeks to move out of that fucking place.
It'd be so goddamn hard. So with her, though, this is what she's doing. Now, there's been a lot of acrimonious exchanges between these two during this divorce. Like, it got contentious, and then it seems like it's going amiable for a minute, and then it'll get contentious again. Here, in a court certification document, Judith Novellino had put this in, quote, "Two family members who are both trained psychologists have had recent correspondence with Anthony. They both have warned me that he is potentially dangerous."
Oh.
She then goes on to say, "Throughout a 37-year marriage, I've been subject to the defendant's verbal abuse, his destruction of my personal belongings, and his obsessive and controlling personality." She said that she paid most of the household bills without contribution from him and took out a loan without his help to pay for their daughter's wedding.
Oh.
So that's what she's saying. She's like, he does nothing. She then goes on to say, quote, "I have no money, I have no bank account, and my checking account is exhausted from paying bills." So that's her saying, I need money from him, and I've used all my money on the household shit while he saved it. So now he needs to pay me some money back, which is fair.
That's not a fair fucking relationship and partnership. Jesus.
No, I mean, it's also a one-sided divorce filing, though. So I mean, it's also
good point. Yeah.
What's his document say? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. I'm saying in a marriage, especially, there is two fucking sides to the story, and they're very different is all. So
each one is very self-serving.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And one could be completely 100% right, and one could be completely 100% wrong. It's not. That's fine. I'm just saying it's whatever. So in correspondence here, she also refers to, there's an incident of, this is very strange, of her lawyer saying that he was allegedly stalking her and pestering some of her law firm staff as well.
What the fuck is that about?
I don't know, like calling them and being angry. I don't know what. Seems like real nice guy, don't want to piss him off type of thing, apparently. He really starts coming. So here's some other weird things. A couple of other strange things here is a neighbor of theirs said that she lived across the street for about 10 years, And she described Judith as a sincerely nice person, Anthony as a regular neighbor who in the past had brought groceries to her and other neighbors who were ill or too old, or he'll just go out and go, what can I get you at the store? And come back and get you groceries. Like, seems like a nice guy. She says, up until 2010, she, had talked to him. He's always outside the house. And apparently nobody really ever saw Judith outside of school. They said, like, she was never outside. She would never come to social events or anything like that either. So
she would go to school, come home, and then just be locked in the house?
That's it. Yeah. I don't know if she did things, but nobody that knows them really saw her very often, they said. She was just kind of kept to herself. So, I mean, I don't know if that's just she's busy or she had papers to grade, or who knows what the hell she's doing in there. So, the week, we're talking June 2010 now. The divorce is going through, and this neighbor said that, quote, about Anthony, quote, he approached me and wanted me to see his house. He said his ex-wife would come in the house and take stuff and soil the house, and he wanted me to see. Okay. She said I was hesitant at first, but little by little he led me to the front door. He said, come look what she did. And she said she only took a few steps into the house, and she said before she said she'd seen enough. She said it was super messy. Quote, he said she tried to portray as a nice person, but this is what she really is. She's a pig. That's what he told her. Apparently this house is a fucking disaster inside. It's filthy and gross and packed with shit, and it's dirty, and there's piss all over the couch.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this house that we haven't scratched on yet here.
The house luckily presents well on the outside, but then you get inside?
Yeah, luckily it's not a scratch and sniff, because it would... But apparently, yeah, the outside of the house is fine. You get inside, it's a shit show in there. I mean, This lady said she took 3 steps in the house and realized that's enough. I'm not going any further. It's a mess in here. And that's what he said. She did this. She tries to act like she's real nice, but she's a pig. Look at her. And another neighbor said that he didn't seem angry at that time, but he was acting different and appeared, quote, definitely a little more emotional, which they just finalized their divorce.
Yeah.
That all makes sense. So a lot of it was Anthony, the son with the drug use and his arrests and all that sort of thing. A lot of it is Anthony Sr., complaining that Judith was sloppy and would tell all the neighbors and the friends she's sloppy and had, quote, soiled the living room couch with urine.
How do you...
Now, I don't know. Apparently she had some kind of, I don't know if it's a medical condition, some sort of incontinence, or if she's like, gets mad at him and pees on the couch. I don't know what's going on, but...
Just lifts her leg?
Or if he pees on the couch and says I have no idea. If he might get drunk and pee on the couch and say, she must have did it again. Who knows? One way or another,
we have a piss couch.
One way or another, this couch is pissy. And
that's crazy.
Not cool.
Is Junior, is he living in Newark, back where they were at, or where is he at? He's in this town.
The kid?
Too?
Oh, he's running all around. Yeah, the kid's running all around. Yeah, getting arrested all over the place. So there's a photo. This is weird. A photo of the piss couch is mounted above the couch.
What?
So there's a couch and then a picture of that couch right above the couch.
In case you forget what you're sitting on.
In case you look at it and go, that's pretty cool. I'd like to see it smaller, though. They have that covered for you. I don't know what the fuck that's for. That's what I mean. That's a weird thing to put up, right?
Fascinating choice.
I'm going to just take pictures of my furniture, then hang photos of them above the furniture.
Here's my TV. Above it, if you'd like to look, there's a picture of the TV.
Like a museum does that shit, right? A museum has like a picture and then the actual thing, and it describes it. And
there's like a little plaque that gives the history of it.
This is our piss couch. Here's the history.
I bought this TV from Amazon in 2014.
Oh, it was a banner day here at the Pietragallo house. I'll tell you something. Oh, Prime Day. It was something. So June 8th, 2010 is when the divorce is finalized. That's the actual final day. And like I said, she has her own apartment. She's been traveling back and forth between the two of them. She said that one of the neighbors said that Anthony came over to her house to just to tell. He just like stopped over and he goes, "Just want to let you know, divorce is final."
Oh.
Okay, thanks, Anthony. And then he like goes to the next house. Just letting you know. I don't know why.
I didn't do that.
You figure, no. I mean, you want to shout it from the rooftops, but you do it all at once. You don't go individually to tell everybody you've ever met.
Tell each stripper that gives you a lap dance.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you're telling some old lady, just tell one. It'll gossip through the neighborhood. Don't worry, they'll know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give it time. It's a slow burn.
Yeah, totally. Then one of the neighbors talked to Judith at one point and said that, judging from what Judith said and where everything looked, the divorce appeared to be amiable. Okay. An amiable arrangement where they're,
That is nice.
So the settlement here is they do a property settlement without having to go through a trial because no matter what they end up splitting, it's going to be a lot less to split after a trial because the lawyers are going to suck out a third of that shit. So why do that? So apparently this pact has provisions for Anthony to equally split several retirement accounts with his wife, and he gets the house, but he has to buy out her half of the house. Yeah. So he has to pay her.
That's ugly.
Yeah, so he has to pay her.
So he's going to give her half of his liquid money, and then whatever the house is worth, he's going to give her half of that out of that money also.
Yes.
That's painful, man.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, it's going to be like $400,000 altogether he's got to give her. It's half of everything he's got. So half of what they got. They were married for 37 years.
It's half of us. Yeah, that's 20. 40 years.
It's together. Yeah, 40 years, it's everything you have is together. Give me a goddamn break. Jesus Christ. You've done nothing without each other in 40 years. Give me a fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
You were 20 when you met this woman.
You were married in 1969. You were married when Jimi Hendrix was alive. Think about that. Like, you can't.
Is that the Summer of Love? Is that it?
I think it was 68, the Summer
68?
of Love. Wasn't it 68?
It was close.
Yeah.
You probably met during the Summer of Love, for Christ's sake.
There you go. Yeah, totally. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmy's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
One thing not listed on his asset page was his 1992 Mazda Miata. It's off limits. We could split the house.
The Miata.
Listen to me. We could split the house. We could split the piss furniture. I don't care. You could even have one of the kids free and clear, but you will not lay one fucking piss-soiled finger on my Mazda Miata. It will not happen.
It's a Miata, not a Weata.
Not a Weata. It's a Miata, not a Uata. You got me?
It's not an Asada.
It's not an Asada. I like a Weata. I think that's a good one right there. It's not a Mazda Weata. That was great. So that's perfect. But he doesn't list it. It's mine. It's a Miata. I'm taking it. So, yeah, he has to pay her within 60 days $110,000. Within 60 days. That's her buyout of the house. That's her part of the house because it just crashed in value.
Right.
So that's her part of the house. And also they accumulate. They have to split all of their property down the middle too. And I'm talking. This is wild. It really, when they're talking about splitting the property, they're not just like, you get the furniture and I get this. They have everything documented down to
dollar value of each thing,
down to tchotchkes around the house, things like that.
That's a contentious divorce,
including the entire collection of glass animal figurines. Is it included in this? They've collected like glass animal figurines, and Judith gets the entire collection. This was negotiated. Lawyers, people went to law school and then sat down and negotiated people's glass animal figurine collection. He gets one figurine. She keeps the whole collection except for one of them, which he apparently needed to have, which was the pig. He needed to keep the pig, okay? That's in writing in a divorce settlement. She gets all the glass animal figurines except the pig, which belongs to Anthony. Okay.
He loves pigs.
He does. Now, when the divorce is final, he's kind of angry at this. I think because he's got to pay all this money, and he's
dude, it hurts.
It's a general. It's an anger that they're just he's angry. So he left a note at his father's house here, a sarcastic note at his dad's house on June 12th. His dad lives in Belleville, and the note said, "Thank you for always taking her side." And he believed that his family supported Judith more in the divorce than him. So he was he was mad at them. So he also, he goes around. This is the other thing, too. He's like, oh, yeah, you think she's so great. He has this thing with like, she's not so great like everybody thinks she is. Let me show you this. He's got pictures, tons of pictures of the house. So he could show everybody how she keeps the house. He lives there, too, by the way. You can grab a fucking broom. But he's like, look at what she does. This is all her. This is all her stuff. And he's got all these pictures that he's like showing all these people.
Photo album of a filthy house.
Yes. He even told a neighbor that, yeah, she wants to fuck with me. Look at all these pictures. There's her piss couch. There's all this shit. He even told a neighbor, I have a videotape from 20 years ago of her fucking. And I bet she wouldn't want anybody to see that. I'll use that against her in the divorce if I have to. If she doesn't give me the pig, I will show everyone. I feel like that's how he got the pig. He threatened to blackmail her with the tape, and so she was like, "Fine, he can keep the pig, not the alligator though. That's mine."
He's going to revenge porn the woman.
He's going to revenge porn her from a videotape from the 80s. So,
unbelievable.
Or some other time, whenever the fuck it was, which is obviously a disgusting threat to make. So,
fucking him though, right?
I don't even know. All it says in documents is that it was an intimate video. It was a fuck video of her. I don't know if it was with him or if it was just her naked. It might have been him making a video of her. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing.
Out of the shower, a la Vacation.
Or, yeah, one of those deals. Or, hey, put on a little show for me. Who knows what the fuck's going on?
I've got the camera. Be filthy.
Yeah, so he's talking about the videotape. He's talking about, these pictures and everything. Frank Castora over here, his buddy, his neighbor over there.
Right.
He says, quote, he wasn't happy about the divorce. He's not happy, this fucking guy. He's grumpy about it. He said, quote, he said she wasn't getting the house. He was angry. He's like, she's not getting this house. That's one thing. The Miata, the pig, and this fucking house are mine. I don't care about nothing else.
Why? And it's so filthy. Why do you give a fuck about the house?
He wants it because then she can't have it. I think it's just gotten to the point where they're fighting.
That's horrible.
When you're parsing which glass fucking animal figurines you get and which ones I get, you've gone past the point of logic.
Yeah, it's a great point.
As
I
adults,
hated that house. I was like, keep it, bitch. I don't want it.
Yep, it's the When Harry Met Sally thing where you see that coffee table, you don't even fucking like that coffee table. In 5 years, you'll be fighting her to the death over that coffee table because I don't even care if I don't like it. She's not getting it. That's what it is, and it's how people are. It's just human nature. So, he said the neighbor said he would talk to about how unhappy he was about the divorce. That's Castora's wife. So he'd come over and tell the couple, she's draining me, she's doing this. I got
to stop talking about my divorce.
Oh, I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack over here.
I don't want anybody to remember me like this.
Somebody make a sandwich, quick! Jesus Christ! I'm gonna explode.
Whisman's talking about his divorce again. Somebody, man, quick, change the topic.
This is me listening to Jimmie. This is what this is. And I keep saying sandwich because for a Northeastern Italian person, a sandwich cures all.
It fixes everything.
You just make them a nice sandwich on some good bread. You get a good deli sandwich.
Don't worry, I got a hard roll. What? You got a what?
You need the good deli roll. Hard rolls for the bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning.
Oh,
that's what you want there. You could get a hard sandwich on a hard roll, but that good bread, the good, that's what you want. Yeah. You get that and you eat it, and then you go, you know what? I'm sad, but this Italian combo is pretty good. I'll be honest with you. It's not that bad.
His life's not that bad.
It ain't that bad. So Karen, Castora's wife, he said, quote, she said, quote, he was angry. You could see it in his body. He said he would be the last one to lock the door of that house, not her.
Okay.
So he said, that's going to be my house. I'll be the one to whatever. So they also said that he just kept expressing anger about her. He'd pop up at neighbor's house and be like, she takes shit when I'm not there. I go to work, I come home, she takes stuff. I don't know if it's my stuff. I don't know what she took. He also complained again about the messiness and the condition of the furniture. He said that Judith pissed all over his couch. Yeah. So he's very upset. He's, again, showing pictures of the furniture to other neighbors, showing pictures of the furniture saying, look, she's a pig. Look at what she's stained. She's a fucking pig. He's always calling her a pig to everybody. He told one of the neighbors that he intended to show the photographs of the stained furniture in court during the divorce proceeding just to humiliate her. He said, just to humiliate her. I don't even know if that'll help me at all. He asked his neighbors to call him on his cell phone if they saw Judith going into the house when he was at work. Do me a favor. Look out the window all day while I'm at work. If you see anything, give me a call.
But the thing is, I don't even know if she's taking anything. I just know she's been in the house. I don't know if she's taking anything of mine. If she took something of yours, you'd notice.
And if you didn't notice, what do you give a shit?
Who gives a shit?
If it's that little of that little importance to you that you don't even notice it's gone, then you probably didn't need it that bad. But I get that it's the she can't have it. I get the pig. Think about the mentality. Think about how much of stuff you accumulate over 30 years. Yeah. And it got to the point where they're like, all right, well, next point, point 412, glass animal figurines. Well, I get this one. I get that. The pig is mine. He can have the pig, but I'm getting the fucking cow. Like, that's what happened. That's
too much.
That's Looney Tunes. That's an adult. That's multiple adults sitting in a fucking room.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So June 19th, 2010, divorce is final. She has been coming and getting her shit. Between 6:30 a.m. and 8:22 a.m., surveillance cameras at the Quick Stop, like the convenience store, on Route 46 in Parsippany show Anthony Novellino inside the store. So that's his day starts out pretty early. He's supposed to go to work this day, but doesn't go to work this day. June 19th, that same day, 9 a.m. now, Novellino stops at a friend's house in Denville and borrows a wooden chair.
Oh.
Okay, he's got chair lending friends. Yeah. I guess, yeah, she took all the good chairs.
Yeah.
I don't know. At 9:37 a.m., Judith Novellino calls on her cell phone and has a chat with one of her closest friends, saying that she just got to the house at 16 Cliffside Trail, and she's retrieving a few more of her items, and this should be all she needs, and then she's done here. Okay. So Frank's at work, and I stop by. I'm just grabbing my shit, one more load and fuck this place. So between 9:30 and 10 a.m., a neighbor there says that Anthony Novellino comes up and asks this neighbor if he can park in her driveway away from his own house. Uh-huh. And then he complained about the divorce for about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. And then he went over to the house. So why the hell do you need to park in my driveway when you have a driveway right there?
You have plenty of driveway.
All sorts of driveway to deal with. So that's not normal at all. Very strange. So but the neighbor said he seemed to be normal. He seemed to be, normal Tony, she said. Just, that's all it is. But before he left, after parking his car and complaining about the divorce, he gave her a large potted daisy. Okay, It was a plant in a pot, and it's a big daisy. And he said, quote, I was going to, wow. He said, do you want this? And she said, why? And he said, quote, I was going to put this on Judy's grave, but it's too pretty. Okay. Yeah. Well, she's not dead. And right. Are you just I'm going to grow this plant and eventually she'll die and I'm going to put it on her grave. I don't know if that's the deal. So she said about how she responded, quote, I said nothing. How do you respond to something like that? Was what the neighbor said. How do you respond to something like that?
It's a yes or no question. There are only two options, but...
thanks for the flower? I don't know.
Thanks.
No thanks. Between 9:45 and 10 a.m., neighbors hear a woman scream, and they believe it's from the Novellino home, but they're not sure.
Okay.
So that happens there. Later on in the day, Anthony calls Luann Spencer. She's a woman who lives in Washington State, whom he has met online and been having a little fling with online.
Oh, yeah.
He met her, it was first he was on Match.com and shit. He met her in an over 50s divorced only chat room. Over 50-year-old divorced only chat room. So it's a damn depressing place right there. All you're going to hear about is polyps and prostates and fucking polyps, prostates, and legal briefs and property division.
And death certificates.
Polyps, prostates, and property settlements is all you're going to hear about in that room. Not good. So, yeah, that's who he's talking to. 10:49 a.m. Surveillance video footage shows Anthony Novellino's Mazda Miata in the toll plaza operated by the Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge Commission entering Pennsylvania. So he's crossing from Jersey to Pennsylvania.
Now to fucking Washington in the Miata?
And put the top down and let's do it. It's June. We can put the top down the whole way, baby.
Let's go. Open road.
It's on. Open road. That's it. Oh, my God. Just fucking King of the Road playing while he's going, blasting out of the roof of the Miata.
Open roof, open road. Let's go.
Open road. Let's go.
Trailer
Come on.
for sale or rent.
That's it. Fucking a chick out west. I said, I'm gonna be King of the Miata.
Miata the road.
Miata of the road. So that's not great. No. 12:39 p.m. Novellino calls Spencer again, his Washington girlfriend, saying that he wants to mail her cards and money, but forgot her address.
Yeah,
it's some shit to mail you. He said my wife's acting. She's at my house acting crazy, and that he took off work today. And I'll tell you all about it later. But I got to mail you this shit. My wife's acting like a fucking twat. This is all getting crazy. So 7:02 a.m. or p.m. I'm sorry, 7:02 p.m. June 19th. Time goes by. Remember the neighbor, the Lynn Dexter?
Yeah.
She's barbecuing out there at about 7 p.m. and she sees Christina Novellino, the daughter, just wandering in the street.
Oh.
wandering the street. She said walking around in a daze crying.
A 30-year-old woman.
Just walking around in a daze crying, and she overheard her saying to herself, I told her to wait for me. Why didn't she wait for me? She's just yelling it to nobody in the street. That's pretty interesting. Then they see, this neighbor sees not only her out there, why didn't she wait for me? Then a bunch of police cars pull up. Crime scene tape starts going up, all this shit, and their neighbors are like, what the fuck is going on here? Holy balls. So apparently Christina had come over after work to help her mom pack up some shit, and she hadn't heard from her, so she figured her mom was still there. She goes over. Christina can't find her downstairs. She walks upstairs, goes into the upstairs bathroom, and that's where she finds Judith. Judith is between the toilet and the tub. It's not right next to the tub. I have a picture of this place, actually, of the bathroom. It's still cleaned up, but there's a good amount of space. But that's where she is, laid out. She is, there is fucking blood everywhere. This room is like the Shining hallway. It is pools of it on the floor, all over the fucking walls. It is a complete and total disaster in there. Judith has been obviously hacked up all over. There's multiple stab wounds. It looks terrible. She's obviously deceased.
Wounds.
Yeah, you can see everywhere. She's got holes in her and just blood all over the place. And then the weirdest thing about this that would freak anybody out, over her face, and I'm talking over her face, lined up with the eyes and the mouth and everything, is a rubber pink pig mask. Whoa. Like a Halloween, a creepy looking pig mask, like if you were going as a pig person for Halloween.
Like
it's a whole
eyes wide shut party.
Yeah, but not just like an eye thing with a nose, a rubber mask that would cover your whole face.
Whole thing over her whole head?
Not over her whole head, over just the face part. You could put it over the whole head, but it was laid on her face with the eye holes all lined up and everything. Wow. And that's totally clean of blood. There's no like blood spatter all over it. That's just like
wasn't wearing it. Yeah.
Clearly wasn't walking around wearing it, obviously. So imagine walking in and seeing your mom there. So she freaked the fuck out. What's going on? What's up with this pig mask? Yeah. That would give you nightmares forever. Forever. Yeah. That's fucking horrible. So police come in, find out that she has been stabbed 84 times.
Holy shit.
It takes a lot to stab someone 84 times.
Long. Yeah.
That takes, you got to stop and, Jesus, okay.
Several minutes.
Yeah, you got to go back to it. And their wounds are all over the place. We'll talk about exactly where they are. Some of the wounds are 8 to 10 inches deep.
Wow.
That is fucking deep. That's the hilt.
Rage.
On this knife. That's absolutely rage. 84 times. Jesus Christ. So right away they attempt to contact Anthony, the police do, because he's next of kin, I guess, here. Christina's there, but got to contact the husband. But they call him at work, and he hasn't shown up for work that day or the day before. He wasn't there.
2 days off.
Yeah. So the police look around the house. Obviously, you're looking for, is there still a suspect here? Is there somebody hiding in the basement with a bloody knife in their hand or something? They end up finding, during the search of the house, a large wood-handled knife and a smaller knife in an alcove that they said is just a pile of shit and mess. They found it kind of wedged into it on the first floor of the home. The knives have blood all over them as well. There's blood all over the sinks we'll talk about. It's a bloody mess in this house. There's blood everywhere. They get a hold of Anthony Jr. here, and they ask Anthony, do you know anything about this mask? And Anthony Jr. says, yeah, I know that. It was a Halloween. Somebody had that for Halloween years ago. I haven't seen that thing in years. I didn't even know we still had it.
Really?
Yeah, apparently somebody knew they still had it because they put it on Judith.
They weren't on Pig in a Poke?
No, that's what it looks like. Dude, I was gonna make that reference, but I honestly didn't think anybody would fucking get it besides you. It
was one of those. You today, James.
I get it, but I didn't think that it was one of those where I'm like, I'm gonna make. No, they will. They are. Everyone listens to this. No, they are. It's just us. We're not going to release this episode. This is a private one today, just for us. But no, it's a Pig in a Poke from Vacation. Absolutely, Pig in a Poke mask. That's what they are. We'll put the picture on social media. It's at Murder Small, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. It'll be up there with the rest of the pictures because there's a picture of a prosecutor holding it later, and it is creepy as fuck. So
he's going to touch it.
Oh, yeah. Scientific evidence here that they got. They retrieved the pig mask, which was on Judith's face. They said that it was aligned with her facial features. They recovered 2 knives, like we said, from underneath the stairs, one covered in dust and the other without any dust at all.
Okay.
That says a lot. The knife that was not covered in dust had an 8-inch blade and a wooden handle. Swabs of blood collected from various places and items as well. DNA testing showed that Judith's blood was found in the sink, on the pig mask, on the 8-inch knife blade found under the staircase, and the other blood here, they got a swab collected near this nozzle of the kitchen sink that identified another DNA source.
Oh.
And that DNA source is Anthony.
Uh-oh.
But he also lives there. So,
that doesn't mean anything.
There's DNA wherever you live. Your fucking DNA is everywhere.
It's all over the place.
You've bled all over that house. Yeah. There's a lot of blood. So they go, well, that doesn't really mean anything. But they didn't find, and the lack of another one is what they were talking about. Obviously, someone went to the sink, and we don't see another strain of DNA. It's only these 2 who would have lived here. An expert in blood stain analysis said that based on the blood found at the scene and the lack of visible blood on the mask was, quote, introduced after the death and stabbing. It was put on like as a staging almost.
Right. A little message.
Yeah. Also said that the blood patterns showed Judith had attempted to defend herself. Okay. Medical examiner breaks it down like this, the stab wounds.
Boy.
These are some stats here. 84 total stab wounds, including 5 to her face, 11 to her neck, 19 to her right shoulder, 3 to her right breast, 3 to her left breast, 4 to the chest, 13 to the abdomen, 15 to her hands, and 7 to her back.
Wow.
That is just covering her.
Frenzied. Yeah.
Frenzied, psychopathic frenzy of stab wounds. That's wild, man. That is a lot. And they said that the wood-handled knife that they found with her blood on it under the stairs is consistent with with Judith's wounds and the depth of the wounds and everything like that. They said that the wounds resulted in numerous internal injuries, including the perforation of the small intestine and diaphragm and a puncture to the right lobe of the lung.
It's over.
So he's carving her all up. Yeah. This is terrible. The medical examiner said that the cause of death was multiple sharp force injuries and the manner of death is homicide, obviously. So, so they're collecting the DNA. They don't really have very much. They obviously need to talk to Anthony, number one, because he was seen in the neighborhood parking at a neighbor's house and then 15 minutes fucking late complaining about his divorce. 15 minutes later, they're screaming, and now he's nowhere to be found.
Right.
That's not good. That doesn't look good for you.
Yeah.
The police spokesman said that this can only be described as a very brutal and violent encounter. You could definitely tell there was a struggle. People were fighting during the attack. They said, we have no reason to believe, based on the evidence that we have, that this is a random incident. We believe this victim was targeted, obviously. Nothing stolen. No one comes in and stabs somebody that they don't care about that much, puts a pig mask on them, doesn't do any sexual shit at all, and then leaves.
Very personal, very targeted.
It's money or sex are your two motivators for a stranger crime like this, if it was a stranger, and neither of them are there. So what's it for? Yeah.
Or a real psychopath that brings a mask with him.
Who's got a bloodlust and then goes through the house, doesn't steal anything, but places an old Halloween mask that was God knows where in the back of a closet in a hoarder house on the face. It's very, very strange here. So they said, we believe this victim's targeted. They said that Anthony Novellino is a person of interest, not a suspect right now. I mean, let's not go too far. A suspect, it sounds bad. It just sounds bad. You know what I mean? Let's call him a person of interest. You know what I mean? He's an interesting person. That's all. He's just real interesting. Yeah. He was last seen driving his black Mazda Miata with a tan convertible roof. It doesn't matter what color it is because it's never up. So who cares? Roof will be down, baby. That we do know. They said that anybody who spots Anthony Novellino should call 911 and that he should not be approached.
Right.
Not saying he's dangerous, but they don't want to spook him. It's like a deer.
He's not a suspect, but do not talk to this man.
I get that we said he's interesting 5 seconds ago. I understand that.
I don't want you to think that he'd be interesting to you. He's interesting to us.
He's interesting to us, to prosecutors, to forensic people. He's interesting.
To cellmates,
to other people in jail, maybe to
maybe to a warden,
possibly to a public defender. That type of thing. So,
a little interest to you with your fucking IT job.
You don't need that. Put up your Christmas lights. Put up your fucking Christmas lights, IT boy. None of your business. I don't know why I want to go there and yell at that guy, even though his house is probably awesome.
Wasn't the IT guy's wife a librarian too? You better stay away from this man. See what he's done to a librarian?
At a school, even. Same thing, a school librarian, not just a librarian. A school librarian. It's very specific. So where the fuck is Anthony? Well, I don't think Anthony is that technologically savvy, being at this moment a 63-year-old man dealing with very new technology. Not that there aren't some that are very savvy at that age, but even you, Jimmie, admit, at 40, you're not on the cutting edge of everything that comes out, knowing what it all does. It takes you.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, it takes us a minute to catch up. It's just once you hit like 27, you're just like, I don't need that right now. And then you're behind. Once you go, the first time you go, I don't need to know about that right now. That's it. It's over. Everything else.
You're done.
It'll snowball from there, man. You'll never get that lesson back, and you'll never.
That's the thing about computers and technology, too, is that, like with other things in my life as I was growing up, you could take them apart like a method. You could take things apart and see how it works. I can't take a computer apart and look inside it and go, oh, obviously I do this to do that. Because who the fuck knows what that looks like?
You can look inside it, but you're not going to see just a broken fuel pump sitting there like something that's obvious.
I can't pull a fuse out, see that it's broken, and put a new one in. I can't do that with a computer. And they're like, email me a PDF. What the fuck does PDF stand for? I don't know what this is. All your acronyms are bullshit.
That all comes from the first time someone goes, oh, have you seen this? It's cool. And you go, I don't know. I don't need to see that right now. I'm busy, or I got other shit. I don't need to see that. That's it. You might as well. You might as well buy a pair of khakis, pull them up to your nipples, and
Enjoy
find a
your
nice,
polo
comfortable
shirts
bench.
The rest of your life.
Yeah,
It's
nice,
over.
comfortable bench to sit on and watch the world go by, because it's all over. And it's about 27 when that happens for the first time. And then by 30, you're still almost there, but you're a little bit behind. And when a teenager says something at like a family gathering, you're like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but you really don't. And then by the time you're 40, you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what? Don't tell me. I don't even want to know.
I don't know.
I don't care.
What GIF stands for. I don't know any of this.
I figured out how Hulu works, and I'm happy with that. I'm done now. Thank you. I'm good. My Apple TV is the last thing I'm going to worry about.
And that takes for fucking ever, because you got to arrow over. Type in my fucking email address. It's so long.
God damn it. Why can't? There's got to be a better way. So I don't think Anthony.
Why do you laugh at me when I say at yahoo.com? Why are you laughing?
Why is that funny? Yeah, it's Hotmail. So what? That's
What's
right.
the joke?
Why is it so funny? Because I have an AOL email. Neither of us have AOL emails or any of those, but that's how you feel, though.
Yes.
You feel like you're walking around with an AOL email whenever anything comes up that you don't understand. So
it's a nightmare.
I feel like Anthony at 63 and with 2009, 2010, very much new technology, he doesn't realize that just from knowing who you are, if cops want to, they can find out everything you've ever looked up online, look up all this shit.
Yeah.
So they do. They look at his email account and show his constant communications with this woman in Washington. And they contact her. They call her.
Shit.
Hey, how you doing? You don't know us. We're from a police department 3,000 miles away. Weird, right? If you could do us a favor here.
Hi, is this Sad Widow 1234?
Yeah, how you doing? Is this Rockin' Widow 86? Is that what? Because it'd be something upbeat. It wouldn't be Sad Widow.
Yeah.
It'd be like, Wild Widow.
For you.
Wild Widow 1971, it would be, or some shit like that. Yeah. So,
Wet widow.
Wet widow. Wet, wild, and widowed. 19. That's a fucking. That's a sad. That's not a good porn. Wet, wild, and widowed. Here they are. They're sad, but their tears aren't the only thing that's moist that's coming out of them. I'll tell you that right now. Their eyes aren't the only wet part of their body.
They're wet at both ends.
That's a weird porn. In the porn, you have to like talk to them, make them feel better, and then have sex with them.
Your words will make the moisture stop at one end. And then it's either go time or get the fuck out of here time.
Get the fuck out of here. So they talked to her, and she said, yes, I've been in contact with Anthony, and I'm sure. I mean, yeah, they'll like, well, can you keep us abreast of what's happening and all that? Yeah. So she said that, yeah, I mean, we were talking about him coming out here for a while. I didn't know he was going to come out here right now. I didn't know any of that. He called her from the road and was like, hey, I'm on my way out there.
Hey, you home?
She was like, huh? What now? Yeah. He was like, yeah, come. Yeah, I'm the online guy, just driving 3,000 miles. Be there in a couple days.
Give me, let me look at these papers that I printed out, because that's how I got my directions today.
Well, as a matter of fact, a few days before Judith was killed, they found in his computer activity, he accessed MapQuest to get... to print out directions to Washington. You're absolutely right. Why? Because that was the last technology he embraced.
Yes. I don't have to pull the map out every time. This is great. I'm hanging on to this until the end of time.
Until the end of time. They're like, at that point, you can just get a GPS and stick it on your thing. They had like a TomTom or a Garmin or whatever.
Type the fucking app on your phone and type in the address.
That's too complicated. I don't want to. I like having paper. I like the feel of paper.
That's long directions.
That's long directions. That's going to be so much he had to go get new ink, I'm sure, during all that to print that out.
Amazing.
So he got it's at to her house basically, to the town of what is it? Puyallup, Washington. How do you say that?
Puyallup.
Puyallup. Fucking LLUP.
I think it's Puyallup.
Washington. Whatever. Puyallup, Washington.
Puyallup,
Washington. Yeah, he met her. I guess he had met her in 2002.
Oh,
that's
7 years?
He wasn't divorced back then even.
What are you doing, Anthony?
He met her in a divorced chat room.
Yeah.
So he's been having like a little online thing with her for years now.
Sir.
Years. Before he left with his MapQuest, with his pile of papers, he left like Steve Martin in The Jerk. He had that. He had his clothes and shoes, $5,000 in cash, and the bill of sale to his Mazda Miata in case he needs to hock it.
Make sure it's mine, and in case I run out of five grand.
That's it, man. So now this is obviously crazy. The woman at the Richard Sokurka, he's the spokesman for the church that they go to, said it's a terrible, terrible tragedy. They're going to hold a mass today at the school for the faculty and students because everybody's very sad. She's been there forever. Grief counseling and all that kind of shit. Even though the school was closed for the summer, they still had like a big school memorial thing. The athletic director of the high school said she was a good person, a wonderful person. It's a tragedy. His job, they go there, the press says, what's up with this Anthony guy?
Yeah.
And they say, quote, he was a very pleasant person. There was certainly no indication something like this would happen. That's from the chief marketing officer for United Jewish Communities says that. Fornerato, remember this fucking guy? Joey Fornerato. Oh, it's Joey Fornerato over here. Frankie's whatever with the C. The other guy
with the vowel at the end.
Some other fucking guinea. I don't know. He says Fornerato said he was shocked when he heard about the murder. You know he was. You know they said she got killed. He went, oh, that was his. That's shot. No. Oh. No. What are you kidding me? There was a lot of like questions. Yeah. What are you kidding me? You're not serious, are you? Just a lot of questions like that. He said that cops knocked on his door at 2 a.m. asking him if he knew where Anthony was.
Uh-huh.
And he's
2 a.m.?
2 a.m. He's an old man. He's like, I'm a fucking old guinea. It's 2 a.m. I have no idea where he is. He said, quote, I was blank.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
said,
was blank. I just asked a bunch of questions.
I don't know
what
nothing.
Do you mean?
I don't know a goddamn thing. They said, he said, I didn't know anything. I couldn't help him. I couldn't help anybody. I didn't know shit about that. Another friend said, this is the bird, the guy who gave him pigeons, Tony there. Tony's wife woke her husband up when she saw the story on the news, and she had to make sure her door was locked because, Anthony, he came over once in a while. He's going to come over and murder them now. He's on a spree. So they have a memorial for Judith, big memorial. The principal of the school said Judy was the embodiment of hospitality. She worried about everyone and wanted each person to be happy. They said that she would. They also said they didn't mention Frank's name, but they said that Judith would be the first to caution us to reserve judgment, is what they said. Mm-hmm. So let's not all hate Frank at the moment. You never know. They said, quote, I'm sure she would always want us to remember her with smiles and laughter in our hearts. So that's very nice. Nobody had a negative word to say about her except for Frank, basically. Yeah. But I mean, they were married. Her cousin said even through difficult times, she was never negative. She always seemed to focus on the good. So that's who we're talking about here. So where the fuck is Frank? Where is Anthony? He took off.
Indiana at this time.
He took off here. He's gone. He was hoping to meet up with her, obviously, the Spencer woman out there. Mm-hmm. She said she didn't know he was making the trip until about June 19th at 9:40 p.m. when he said he was on the way.
Holy shit.
Got my pile of... No. Been talking to someone for 8 years, and then you're like, coming on out. They're not even going to tell you what. Yeah. What are you, nuts? You can't do that. That's crazy. Think about doing that. How freaked out would you be if you knew somebody for 8 years and you're having a weird affair with them and all this on the internet, and they were like, I'll be there in a minute. I just printed out MapQuest. You'd be like, what? Fuck out of here with that.
I've been watching 48 Hours for the last 8 years with this as like the number one episode that I've been terrified of.
Yeah. Some guy, I know it's the middle of the night and I'm an old man, but I'm going to leave now anyway. And the top's down. That's right. That's why that wind sounds so loud.
I got an empty 2-liter next to me. I'm not going to stop but for gas.
No shit. The woman that he was talking to, by the way, also recently divorced. So she was also chatting up during that. She said she's never met him in person. First time meeting and everything, and didn't know he was making the trip. She said that her relationship with him was a supportive one, she called it. She said that they had communicated through greeting cards on holidays or special occasions and exchanged emails or phone calls 3 to 4 times a week. You know, an internet relationship. That's what that is. That's the definition of one. She now, while he's driving out, this is a funny thing he does. June 20th, 4:30 p.m. Central Time. He's in North Platte, Nebraska, and he buys a lottery ticket. Uh-huh. What are you buying a lottery ticket for?
Who knows? He feels lucky.
I was going to say, at what point of any of this would make you feel like you're lucky?
Feels to me like he's driving, thinking, and going, I just murdered a woman and I'm not in jail. Yeah. I'm the luckiest man on earth. What do you always say to that person that like has a great string of luck happening? You always tell them, go to Vegas, buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
I think he did. He also thought, well, rather than sell the Miata, I'll just win this lottery, and that'll be a lot easier. So he stayed in a motel there and then was disappointed when he didn't win the lottery. So they have payphone records that place him in Nebraska and Utah and all that sort of thing.
All the way along the way.
Oh, he calls her like 3-4 times a day just to give her progress. He's got nobody else to talk to. He's a guy who's constantly socializing. Now he's alone in a Miata. So he has one. He only has one person to talk to. So
closest quarters on the planet in a Mazda Miatas.
Constantly. By yourself in a Miata. Yeah. That's close quarters. So the next day, June 21st, 8:24 p.m., he calls her again. This call, the police have a tracing thing set up with her now. So this call's traced to Wendover, Utah. 8:16 a.m., June 24th, he calls her cell phone, and the call origin is traced to a 7-Eleven store in Puyallup, or whatever the fuck it is. Puyallup, Washington, whatever the hell it is. I don't care. Please don't tell me the pronunciation of it.
It feels like he went the wrong way, doesn't it? Like
It seems like a terrible route, yeah.
MapQuest gave you bad directions, sir. You went all the way south you should have just cut across the tip top. Yeah,
I guess, but I don't know what the highway situation's like up there. If one connects to another.
Maybe at the time that he looked up MapQuest, there was like a pile up somewhere, and they were like, a quicker way is down here.
Yeah, and he was like, well, that's the only way to do it. So at this point, too, charges are going to be filed against him, formal charges, but not for murder.
What for?
Not for murder. A police officer signs a criminal complaint against him on charges of making terroristic threats several months ago to an attorney, Marianne McGlone, who was one of the attorneys for the wife.
Oh, what'd he say?
The complaint alleges that Novellino put McGlone in imminent fear of death with the threat, quote, "I will get even with you and you will pay." That's
it. That's the one you need to say.
All I got was the pig figurine. Yeah, I'll get even with you and you'll pay? That's not good. Those sound bad. So they're talking about that. The day the divorce went through, he was so insistent that McGlone not represent his spouse that McGlone's husband, who's another attorney, stepped in so the divorce could be finalized. He said, I won't sign the papers if that attorney if you're involved in it.
Yeah.
But her husband, fine, no problem. I just don't like you.
Yeah.
So McGlone said that she met several times with law enforcement officials since the murder was reported. They said that's how that went. And I guess she was originally hired as McGlone had the first meeting with Judith the last fall, and Anthony also showed up and wanted McGlone to represent them both or act as a mediator. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not going to fight. Can you act as a mediator between us? And McGlone wrote that she told the husband she couldn't represent both parties, and he was reluctant to leave the office and engaged other staff in disruptive discussions. So she said, quote, he wanted to approve the new attorney Mrs. Novellino hired. Mrs. Novellino was very quiet during this meeting because every time she attempted to speak, Mr. Novellino would try to shut her up.
Why do you want to choose who gives a fuck? You can only do so much under the law, so who cares?
He likes to control shit, though.
Yeah.
So he likes to control him. So they believed that essentially he would come to the office all the time and behaved in a manner that the lawyer thought of as amounting to stalking. Mm-hmm. He said he also allegedly told an office secretary that he was not the type of person to play games with.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, that's pretty goddamn interesting. I guess she said we both met with Ms. McGlone because the plaintiff, Judith Novellino, made it clear to me she no longer wanted to litigate. I guess that's what he wrote in that. So they're tracking Anthony. They got him all tracked up here. He's at the Motel Puyallup or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
That's where he's at. It is a $54 a night shithole here. He paid cash. He's in room 230. He paid cash there, and they said normally it's truckers there, which is interesting. Yeah. He checked into one room but complained of seeing ants, so was moved to another room.
I feel like he pulled up in the parking lot next to a big rig and pointed, "What you think of my rig?"
Yeah, how about that?
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity. And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep shoppers coming back with personalized experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge. In fact, it's proven, based on a report from EY, businesses on Shopify POS see real results, like 22% better total cost of ownership and benefits, equivalent to an 8.9% uplift in sales on average relative to the market set surveyed. Want more? Check out at shopify.com/Wondery. All lowercase, and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity. Shopify.com/Wondery.
So then about 6:30 p.m., U.S. Marshals came in and busted through the door.
Oh, wow.
And there he was, naked on the bed, just laying there.
Wow.
Not a fucking stitch of clothes on his 63-year-old ass, just laying there. He's probably whacking it. You know he was whacking it.
He tugged at some point.
Oh, yeah. He had $3,738 on him left.
He's already gone through $1,300?
$1,200. He had cuts on his right palm, bruised and swollen right knuckles, and a dark bruise and abrasions on his left armpit. So he looks like a guy who's just in a fucking fight for his life is what he looks like.
He looks like a 63-year-old man who had a fight, yeah.
Exactly, which is always a fight for your life when you're 63. Yeah. Every physical encounter like that would be a fight for your life. So they found the Miata and searched that as well and found blood stains inside there as well. So that not good for him. They photographed him. They photographed the cut on his right hand and the bruising and everything like that. They also find in the motel room, this is kind of the coup de grace. He has all these marks on him, blood in the car, everything. Then they find a note in the motel room that he wrote that says, quote, "Sorry for everything, but it wasn't my fault. She jabbed me first."
Oh.
That's what it says. So he's not charged with murder yet, though. Still not charged with murder. Still just they're holding him on the charges of the terroristic threats to the lawyer.
Yeah. All right.
And they're going to talk to him. So they said he's still just a person of interest. So they sit him down June 28th. By the way, he makes a bunch of statements because they drive him across the country.
Wow.
During that time, he makes a bunch of statements. None of them are going to count, though.
Drive.
A 4-day drive. That's why.
Holy shit.
I think we could spring for some airfare here for that, but
yeah,
just out of ease.
Did we handcuff him and throw him in the passenger seat of the Miata, or did we go in a police car?
He's in a sidecar in the Miata. They just put him there. It's two marshals in the front, 2 seats, and him in a sidecar. No, that would fit in a lane too.
Yeah.
No, they just drove him back, and they said that he made tons of statements that weren't admissible at that moment. Okay. So they get him there. They transport him back to New Jersey. That was June 28th. On July 29th, a month goes by. Or is this June? Oh, it's June 29th. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. June 29th. Next day. Yes. June 29th, he makes a request in the jail to speak with the Denville police captain, Paul Nigro, Nigro. Okay. Very careful, Nigro. Yep. He also completed a written inmate request form asking that Nigro contact him ASAP. So There we go. Wilson, who's a police officer and who's a detective, and Nigro, the other detective, meet with him in jail, tell him of his Miranda rights, obviously, and they record the conversation. He discusses the divorce and explained that on June 19, 2010, he came home and found Judith's car at the house. He was like, well, this is no good. He said he didn't park his car in the driveway, not because out of a, I don't want her to see me. He said he didn't park his car in the driveway because he thought a moving truck might be coming. Oh. So he thought if a moving truck's coming, then I'm going to have to move my car. So I'll park, at a neighbor's house and walk through my backyard because that's how normally people enter their house.
A moving truck could straddle your car and still
that's what I mean. It's a Miata. Just park it.
Park it straight in the middle.
Park it in front of the other cars, just like sideways up there. It doesn't matter. Put it in the mailbox for now. Who gives a shit? So he said that he walked through his backyard and entered the house through the rear door.
Why?
Comes in the back door. He said as he came in, he heard a toilet flush upstairs, and he went up there, and he saw Judith in the bathroom.
Oh.
And she's in the bathroom. He said she had a knife in the bathroom and threatened him with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said Judith attempted to stab him with the knife, and that's when a struggle ensued, and he cut his hand on the knife at that point, trying to grab it from her. He said he recalls hitting Judith twice with the knife, like hitting her, having it in his hand and punching her. He says, but I did not stab her 84 times. Someone else must have came in there and stabbed her 84 times, but I just remember punching her a couple of times. She must have fallen down. I leave, and then, people smell blood. It's like sharks in the water. They smell it, and they come in, they just stab you a whole bunch of times.
Right.
Pretty not a good story.
That's his story?
That's his story. He said everything happened in 15 seconds, which is impossible. Stab 84 times right now and tell me how long it takes you. It's over a minute.
Yeah. You can't do that. Even if you did it one every second, that's a minute and a half.
Well, that's what I mean. Even if it's like, if you were doing remember when the guys would put the knife between their fingers in high school and shit? Even if you're doing that, you can, it's not going in anywhere. You still couldn't do it in 15 seconds.
Right. You got to stab at a rapid pace like I'm jerking off
and really into it, really working it.
Yeah.
Beat of sweat coming down the forehead. Right. But to put a knife 8 inches into somebody to the hilt and then pull it out again, which isn't fucking easy.
No.
That takes way longer.
Long. Yeah.
That's 3 minutes worth of stabbing.
Oh, fuck.
You take a break during that amount of stabbing. Like that's especially if you're 63. You need a break. Oh,
God. Yeah.
You need a break after that. So he said that the whole thing happened in 15 seconds. His heart was pounding. He said then he picked the knife up from the floor and washed his hands. And he washed the knife because it was covered in blood. I mean, you don't want to leave a dirty knife laying around. He said that he wasn't even angry, but he does admit that, quote, what happened was wrong.
Yeah.
You think? Wow. What a limb to go out on.
Wow.
He said when he left the bathroom, he saw the messy hall closet as usual. And he saw sitting on top of the whole mess was the pig mask. He said he took the pig mask and just threw it into the bathroom.
He's great.
He'd be the best fucking horseshoe player ever.
Yeah.
He said that
horseshoe.
Oh, he's the best frisbee. Frisbee,
yeah,
amazing.
Forget it. Yeah,
costumes
golf.
just flinging them, pow, pow, pow. Yeah. Mask going on. He said he just tossed it into the bathroom and it landed perfectly on her face with all the features lined up. That's amazing.
Wish you would have taped it and put it on Dude Perfect.
He denied placing the mask on her face, and he told the officers he threw the mask because, quote, the closet's a pig pen.
Yeah.
Okay. He said he went downstairs, washed his hands in the kitchen. He denied planning any of this and said when he went downstairs, he threw the knife under the stairwell, which is where they found it. He removed his bloody shoes, put them in a bag, and later discarded the bag at a restaurant somewhere between New Jersey and Ohio.
Wow.
Which means Pennsylvania, because that's what's between New Jersey and Ohio.
It was in Erie.
Whole state of Pennsylvania. Yeah. So he said when he left the house, he didn't even know where he's going, but eventually he said he traveled to Washington. He said he went to Washington not to get some strange, not to finally bang this chick from the internet. He said it was to give his car to a woman's daughter, and then he intended to return to New Jersey and, quote, own up to everything. That's his statement.
That's
right?
why he brought the bill of sale, to give it away, huh?
To give it away so you could sign it over. You could sign over the thing. Now, 2 days later, he's got different shit to say. July 1st, he again requests to speak with detectives. Okay, he's like, I got other shit I left out here. So they meet with him in the jail. They advise him of his Miranda rights again. They record the conversation again. So this is all whatever. He says at this point now, he admits that in the days preceding the murder, he said, I did some stuff that makes me look bad. You're right. He sent pictures to Judith's family members, not only his own and his neighbors, but her fucking family members to try to embarrass her, showing the, quote, smelly and messy conditions of the house, quote, due to an incontinence condition from which she suffered. So if it's a medical condition, that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
If she gets drunk and falls asleep and pees on the couch, then you got bed puddle. That's bed puddle. That's couch puddle at that point.
Tomorrow.
if you have a woman who's got a medical condition and can't help it, maybe be some, nice to her about it. It's your wife, for Christ's sake.
Jesus Christ, she doesn't want to do this either.
Someday, something's not going to work in you too. So she's going to have to put up with a lot. If you're in your 60s, you got to start putting up with weird health shit from your spouse. That's just all there is to it.
Things drip out of you. We get it.
That's things are dripping and stinking. It's going to happen. So he said that he did do that. He said though he did that, but that was more just like a take that type of thing. Like
gross.
yeah, what a dick. And then he said that he wasn't quote upset to the point he would do something like what was done to Judith, though. That's crazy. He tells the detectives at this point that when he found her in the house, he asked her if she needed help moving things. He said, I wasn't even mad at all. I said, hey, you need some help? He said that Judith was upset and he was nervous when he saw the knife in the bathroom because he feared that Judith intended to use it or was carrying it for protection. And who else is she protecting herself but me? I'm the only one here.
Yeah.
So he said Judith was upset and that he was in the house and he picked up the knife when she saw him. So he said, she picked up the knife when I came in, said, hey, you need some help moving. So I was like, well, this is crazy. So then he claimed he was just, quote, this is a great quote, was in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is what you say.
What?
When a meteor falls on you, not when this happens, not when you stab a person 85 times.
When somebody you're around commits a crime.
Wrong. Then he says that he was a different person during the 15-second incident. So temporary insanity and wrong place, wrong timeism he's got going on. So he said that when Judith pointed the knife at him, he felt threatened. He said he recalled struggling for the knife. And then he recalls stabbing Judith twice. Before he said hitting her. Now he said stabbing her. He said, and feeling, quote, like something was controlling him. Mm-hmm. The spirit of the pig has taken me over.
Swine flu.
I got swine flu. He denied being physically capable of stabbing Judy 84 times. He's like, I couldn't have stabbed her 84 times. Look at me. Look at me. I'm frail. I'm so, look, I can barely move now.
Yeah.
Which in a rage, you can do things that you normally can't do. When adrenaline's pumping,
right.
mothers have been known to pick cars up off their children when the adrenaline's pumping enough. So if your adrenaline's pumping, you can stab the shit out of somebody probably.
Hell yeah.
And it'll be fine. He said that he was afraid Judith was dead, but rather than try to help her, he just decided he'd wash his hands and then took the pig mask from the closet. And again, he just tossed it in there. And they said, listen, you're admitting to 84 times, even though you're saying it's whatever.
Right.
You're saying you went over there. You're saying you stabbed her. You're saying you washed off the knife, washed off your hands, got all your shit, went to Washington. You're admitting to all this. Why will you not admit to putting the pig mask on her? Right. You call her a pig to everybody you know. You had to have the pig figurine. What the fuck's your pig obsession, and why won't you admit to it? And he said, I just threw it in there.
He refuses
I didn't do it.
to say it.
Never going to pig you up. That's what he said. Never going to pig you up. Never going to let you down. Going to stab you 84 times and leave you.
What is it? As many times as you call her a pig, what's
going on? Now, I was talking about this with Allison, our research person, and she said she put it in randomly somewhere, never going to pig you up. And I was just like, yeah, that's what it is. It's never going to pig you up. I don't think she realized how funny that was.
He refuses to admit it.
It's the truth. Will not do it. He said that no. I hid the murder weapon. Yeah. I murdered her. I hid it. I covered up the evidence. I fled the fucking scene. How dare you say I put a pig mask on her on purpose? It's the weirdest point to be stuck on. Not to just go, yeah, she's a fucking pig, so I put a mask on her. Fuck her. Not to just say that is crazy.
I guess because the pig mask implies that you did this
it's
on
colder.
purpose. Yeah,
it's colder. It's also mocking her while she's dead. And you know what I mean? It's colder rather than just I felt threatened, so I stabbed her. To say otherwise, it looks like I killed her and then called her a pig and stuck a mask on her face. It's a totally different vibe. Gives a different vibe to the whole murder.
Sure does. It stings a little more.
It's a little more sting. It's a little more urine soaked.
Yes, it is. It smells.
It's smelly.
Yeah.
Soiled. It's a little more soiled. That's the word he kept using.
There it is.
So the bail is set at the urging of the prosecutor. The bail is set at $2 million cash only.
Holy shit!
Because he took off. That's why.
Yeah, he's certainly a flight risk.
That's his problem. They set a separate bail of $30,000 on the terroristic threats to the lawyer as well.
He's got two bails.
Two bails. They said this $2 million is unusually high, but the judge agreed that it was warranted. They said that this is obviously warranted. He was supposed to pay out, by the way, $110,000, then another. Oh, no, this is including that. A total of $270,000 in the next 2 months he was supposed to pay her.
In 2 months.
Or 3 months or whatever it was.
Oh, my God.
They said that the authorities suspected that Anthony may have access to money or accounts that aren't even known about yet because he had ample cash to drive across the country and was found in a motel room with $3,700. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean he has a giant nest egg because he had $5,000 though. Let me tell you something, because they were like, they couldn't find out what bank he pulled it out of. That's why they're saying that.
Oh,
but old Italian people.
Yeah.
Keep cash in the house. That's the thing
house.
you don't. Yeah, that's in the house. We all have cash in the house somewhere.
$5,000 emergency money is nothing when you're 62 and you've worked your whole life.
Absolutely. And then you're also told your parents are telling you during the Depression, all that this and that, and then Mussolini came, and you're like, holy shit, I better have cash in the house. I do it.
Funds are important. Yeah.
Yeah, because Grandma told me that the Nazis showed up one day and the fucking SS was there, and so you better have your stuff and go, and you got to run into the hills. You got to have cash to grab. Huh? What the fuck? So that rings in my head all the time, like some crazy World War II fantasy.
I do it, and my family was the responsible party.
They were the ones stomping in there. That's not good. Trying to find children in holes. So, that's fucking funny. So they said that's what's going on. At a brief hearing here, there's a hearing, and the judge asks, or the prosecutor asked the judge to question Anthony Novellino about why, a month into this proceeding now, he's been arrested for a month, why doesn't he have a lawyer, or he hasn't applied for a public defender? He's made no effort to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
So he started talking. Novellino started making references to June 29th and June 30th when he made his confessions, but he was cut off by the judge and cautioned about discussing any facts of the case. He said, Your Honor, could I just explain something? On June 29th and June 30th, I voluntarily, and the judge said, let me stop you right there. This isn't the trial. Yeah. He tried to do like my cousin Vinny, where he's like, it's a mistake, these two. They didn't do it. He's like, oh, really?
This is pre-trial shit. You don't know how this works?
You don't know how this works? Guilty or not guilty? Those are the only things coming out of it.
That's all you need to say.
Next up, they try to remove the prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the prosecutor, Robert Bianchi, while in private practice just a few years ago, represented AJ on a heroin charge.
Oh, no.
So the prosecutor knows some workings of their household and knows the people involved. So they ask for him to be removed. They say that they're not alleging any wrongdoing or anything like that, but they're just saying it would be a conflict of interest for this prosecutor's office, led by Bianchi since 2007, to be involved at all. They want to take it to the state attorney general office to take over prosecution. Mm-hmm. So there's, that's there. Novellino's son, Anthony, it's Anthony A, though. It's not a junior, but he's still junior.
Yeah.
But
the J comes from the junior part.
It's junior. Yeah, it's Anthony Jr. So he retains, at that point, in 2006, they had retained Bianchi as a lawyer for him on a heroin charge in Essex County. Anthony Sr. met with Bianchi 3 different times discussing the case, and ultimately the appearances in court were handled by a different lawyer in the firm, but that's fine. They said that Anthony brought the attorney Bianchi. He was so happy that he got these charges dismissed for his son that he talked to him and he liked him. He brought over bagels and cream cheese to say thank you to the office and all that kind of shit. Yeah, so they're trying to get him disqualified. They said Mr. Bianchi, by virtue of his being retained by the defendant to represent his son in a drug case, had information and insight into the Novellino family dynamics and consequentially should have recognized the obligation to recuse himself from any participation in this. So Bianchi wrote that he didn't think so, basically. He didn't write that.
He wants a part of this, huh?
He wants a part of this. So they said, rather than a deliberate, carefully conceived act of rage. Oh, this is the defense lawyer here. Yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry. They said it was a brief exchange. He acknowledged this is Bianchi talking about what he knows about Anthony. In a brief exchange, he acknowledged who I was, recalled representing my son, and asked how he was doing. This is what Anthony writes about the lawyer. It seems that the only thing he does not remember about me, my son, or the case is that he is certain he received payment. So he knows he got paid. He paid Bianchi $5,000 in 2005 to defend his son, and then another $1,000 for the lawyer to arrange a polygraph for his son. They asked that the judge reconsider the April ruling to have access to a legal file and all this type of shit. So either way, it doesn't look like that he ended up recusing himself from the case. Stuck around. So the trial comes around. Oh my goodness, the openings in the trial here. This is Calderwood is her name. She is the lead prosecutor who's doing all the openings and closings. She says, quote, my goodness, the Morris County medical examiner who conducted the autopsy will testify he stabbed her 84 times, which sounds like the medical examiner stabbed her 84 times.
Right.
That's just...
He's going to testify that,
that he stabbed a woman 84 times. He said the whole incident took 15 seconds. He said he found 2 masks in the closet, a pig's face and a Frankenstein monster, and that he chose the pig because his wife was sloppy. He said he just flung it into the bathroom, but the evidence will show it was laid perfectly on her face. He was trying to make a statement. He said, she goes on to say that she suffered stab wounds to the face, neck, shoulder, chest, stomach, and back, cutting her jugular vein and her liver, with one thrust piercing her body 8 to 10 inches deep and impacting her spine. Wow. He said, it will show you his commitment to accomplishing his goal of ending her life. So the defense counsel, Michael Prioroni, of course, Michael Prioroni, he says that the actions...
Roni's in his
name. Of course it is. Or Priorone it might be, but it depends on how he does it. He says that, okay, not good. Sure, you stab your wife 80, 90 times. I understand. That looks bad. I get it, all right? Listen to me. He said, but it's not premeditated. Oh, what are we talking about here? Fucking premeditated. He said, it's the tragic conclusion of a 37-year-old marriage strained by the chronic drug abuse and related legal problems of their son, Anthony Novellino Jr. So he called him Junior in court. He's fucking Junior to me. Yeah. So they said bickering on how to handle their son and their approaches, Anthony and Judith, their approaches diverged. He said the division grew and the marriage became a big fight. He said, though, but my client never intended to kill this broad. I'll tell you that right now. Never once did he say, I'm going to cut her fucking throat. I didn't hear it from him. Nobody else did. He said that he never wanted to kill his wife, a popular longtime teacher. He said, quote, was there a divorce, tension, stress? You bet, on both sides. Okay? Nobody's perfect, I'm telling you. Yeah. He said, quote, this is the type of stress that makes people die. And there was a property settlement. But there is a suggestion there by the prosecution that because he agreed to a property settlement, he killed his wife. He waived off her pension from 37 years. He had been a production supervisor and had been laid off. He was a security guard making $10 an hour. She was getting a promotion, but he never asked for a share of her pension or financial support. All he said was, we'll split it all 50-50 and go our separate ways. So let's not float it out there that he killed his wife over money. Yeah, no one would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. That's beneath him. Get the fuck out of here. Money's money.
It sounds to me like her wanting to support the boy, the man's son, that's going to be financial, and that's what he doesn't want her to do. And this
cost
whole
$6,000
thing is about
a few years
money.
ago.
The whole goddamn thing is about money.
I love how he says that. So let's not float it out there that he killed his wife over money. He's like, don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up. No, we're going to bring it up a lot.
Yeah.
So the During the trial, Novellino doesn't testify, but the jury hears 9 hours of statements he made to detectives over the course of days.
He's testifying, all right.
That's way more than testifying.
Yeah.
9 hours? Oh, my God.
Lord.
Including that he made at one point remarks that Judith jabbed at him with the knife first and that, he defended himself and all that kind of shit. He also claimed that he didn't knowingly and voluntarily make admissions to police and they didn't honor his request to speak to an attorney, but they did later on do it, and he talked anyway. So now the pig mask is a big deal, obviously. Yeah. The prosecutors say that they reveal in court the rubber pig mask, which really fucked him good because it looks bad.
Here it is.
They said, here it is. This is what he did to her. And they were like, it was not good. She showed the mask to the entire court and then distributed just to the jurors and the judge, of course, a photograph of the victim wearing the mask.
Oh, shit.
Not wearing it, but having it placed upon her. She didn't use the available overhead projector to share it with the whole courtroom,
Thank God,
just with the judge and jury, which is probably for the best. The defense attorney said that Judith was the one who produced the knife and tried to stab his client in the stomach, or in the belly, he put it, and that her death is a result of self-defense. It's open and shut.
She did it to herself.
She might as well have stabbed herself 84 times. You know what I'm talking about? Other officers testified about collecting additional evidence, including the murder weapon. An officer named Stephen Herzog said that the knife was found amidst clutter in the basement laundry room under a stairway. Other officers spoke of blood samples on the knife and more blood splattered on the bathroom, sink, and toilet and kitchen. It was just fucking blood everywhere.
Jesus.
All of these photos are projected onto the television for the entire court to see there. So, prosecution closing.
Yeah.
I have a picture of this, too, that'll be on social media. The prosecutor takes the knife that's the murder weapon, and she's like showing 84 stabbings. Yeah. But we did that at a live show. Didn't we count stabbings one time?
Yeah.
And it was like, it took so fucking long. Just do it with your arm. How tired your arm would be. Your shoulder's sore. If you're not used to stabbing somebody, your shoulder's going to be sore. It's a lot. So the prosecutor said, slash through the air with the butcher knife and said, showing a demonstration of Anthony's commitment to killing Judith. She said, quote, "Is it reasonable that someone presents with a knife, you take the knife and lose all control and stab them 84 times? That's a good question. Yeah. She said that Novellino craved control and even tried to orchestrate the sequence of events during interrogations by the police. He's a control freak. Yeah. And he's particularly irked by the thoughts that his ex-wife was removing items from the house and getting half of his retirement fund. So the prosecutor said that Novellino snuck into the house through the rear sliding glass door because it's quieter, surprised Judith in the bathroom with the knife, murdered her stabbed her 84 times before putting the rubber pig mask on her face. Mm-hmm. She said there was, quote, "there was no other provocation by her. He has that feeling in his heart, and I got her now. She's in the house taking her stuff out." Like, that's his feeling. Like, oh, I got her now. Here she is. She went on to say that his behavior in the days leading up to the murder foreshadowed the state of mind that he was in during the killing. He had referred to Judith as a, quote, pig to multiple neighbors lately. Yeah. He told people that he would get the last laugh, quote unquote, complained that Judith was getting half his retirement money, and then gave the daisy, saying he was going to put it on her grave, but it's too pretty. All of these things happen right there. Talks about the stab wounds, where they are, how deep they are, all of this shit. And they said that, and then the telling part is, though, he had the peace of mind, the presence of mind to place a rubber pig mask on his ex-wife's face after the attack.
What a fucking move.
Quote, to make a statement about his disdain for Judith Novellino, he chose to put this on her face, to make a statement when she's found for how he really felt about her. Yikes. That does not sound good.
Not at all.
So the defense attorney comes up. He's just... okay, all right. This is what you trained for. This is what you go to law school for. This is it right here, baby. This is what you want.
Hit somebody.
This is what I've been watching Sam Waterston for years for, goddammit. For defense. I watched Matlock forever. Yeah. He said that there was nothing about it. He didn't plan on killing anybody. He was finding companions on Match.com, and he was moving on with his life. He was fine. He said that he was making plans to move somewhere warmer, and he said that the problem was Judith couldn't stop from making nasty comments while they were together. That's all there was. If he was in the house, she was making nasty comments. The defense attorney asked the jurors, please find Anthony Novellino that, yes, he stabbed his ex-wife. That's true. You could find that. But find that he stabbed her in the throes of passion and provocation after defending himself against an attack that she initiated. Wow. That is fucking wild. He says that Novellino got caught up in a rage and reacted to the provocation. That's all it is. She said, quote, he's enraged and he's out of control. This is the human condition we've known about for centuries. The heat of passion. This is their fucking argument.
Oh my God.
The defense attorney argued that investigators probed the homicide, though Novellino plotted and premeditated. He didn't think that their evidence was enough. He called it a terrible event that did not amount to murder, though. Okay, 3 stabs I'll give you. I'll give you 5. I'll give you an even 10 stabs.
Really?
You know what? How old are you? I'll give you that many stabs. You don't get 84. How's that?
You don't get your age plus your son. Stop
That's it. Nope. I'm sorry. You want to celebrate your birthday? Great. 84? Unless you're 85, I don't want to fucking hear about it. No. Bullshit.
I am so glad that I have a passion for peace. That's what I have.
Yeah.
And I just want it fucking quiet.
That's it. Just don't want to fight anymore. Leave me the fuck alone. Keep your pig mask to yourself.
Oh, my God.
So the judge instructs the jurors to consider murder, aggravated manslaughter, and passion/provocation manslaughter in their deliberations.
Okay.
And all of those are different, obviously, different sentences here. So the prosecution, by the way, countered with, if Novellino was in such a panic after the stabbing, how did he manage to gather clothing, wash and hide the large butcher knife, wrap up his bloody shoes, and grab the bill of sale to his precious Mazda Miata before leaving the house and heading for Washington? Huh? How does that happen?
That's a great question.
Yeah, and also the fucking pig mask is the other thing. There you go.
This should serve a lesson to everybody listening, too. Always keep an eye on a grown man who drives a Mazda Miata.
Always. Absolutely. If there's one gray hair on his head and he's driving a Miata, that's a problem.
Stay away from that guy. Unless it's a nice Sunday weather day and he's got his husband in the passenger seat.
That's great.
Stay away
Miata
from
yourself
that man.
silly. I'm not afraid you're going to murder me.
Yeah.
A gray-haired security guard driving a fucking Mazda Miata with the top down when it's 40. I'm scared. Okay? Very scared. And shut up about stereotypical. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So, jury comes in. They deliberate for 3 hours. That's it. 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. It's real quick. That's for murder. That's like paperwork and, of course, a sandwich. It's North Jersey, so they're going to get you a nice Italian combo, something like that. Maybe a meatball, maybe a veal parm. We don't know. Whatever you're looking for. Maybe it's early in the day. Maybe some peppers and eggs. You don't know. We'll get you some. So he is found guilty. Of murder.
Yeah.
Also, other things. So he gets the worst charge, the murder, the top one, and also hindering apprehension, tampering with evidence, possessing a weapon for unlawful purpose, and unlawfully possessing a weapon, which sounds like the same thing.
They hate him.
They banged him with everything. By the way, I don't think hindering apprehension should be a fucking charge. It's not in your best interest to be caught. So why the fuck would you not hinder your apprehension? That's the dumbest.
It's just eluding arrest, right?
That's not immediately turning yourself in, is what that is.
Really?
What criminals do that? That's just a weird thing to charge. So, I don't know.
That should be everybody, I guess.
That's what I mean. Everyone who commits a crime hinders apprehension unless they go, fuck, and walk up with their hands and cuff for it. Please cuff me. I've done this horrible thing.
You're not going to believe what I've done.
Sit down for this. You're not going to believe it. So the sentencing comes around, and the prosecution reads a letter written by members of the family.
Oh, boy.
And it says, quote, "The defendant worked diligently to humiliate and discredit Judith with his lies and distorted facts. However, she ascended like a rock star with 9 priests concelebrating her funeral mass and almost 1,000 mourners at her wake. In contrast, the cowardly defendant was found naked in a cheap motel room and will hopefully live out his life in prison. His duty as a husband and a father was to love, respect, and protect his family. Instead, he has viciously slaughtered his wife and left his children with a legacy of embarrassment, stress, and fear. Knowing the extremes he has gone to for revenge, we believe he will kill again if given the opportunity of freedom." Yes, if anybody else builds up 37 years of acrimony with him, he'll kill them. Right. So when he's 99, he'll kill people, probably.
Also, I don't want to take anything away from the family, but who's more of a rock star, a person in a coffin or a naked guy in a hotel room?
I'm going with the coffin. Yeah, alone in a $54 motel room with your cock out is sad.
Alone,
it's just
right.
sad.
He
yeah,
needs
that's
a few
just
more
sad.
people there.
If you had like 4 chicks in there with him, I'd be like, yeah, all right, he's living that out.
Who's a rock star now?
Yeah, who's a rock star now? No, but this is the truth, though. I don't think he'll kill again, but I don't think it matters. What he did was fucking horrific, and he shouldn't get to walk around. That's terrible. So
take everything away from the actual.
Yeah.
The finding and everything. What he did is horrific.
It's fucking horrible. I don't care if he's going to do it again. He did it once. Fuck him.
Yeah, I don't need 2. One's plenty.
Let's not take any chances. So the defense lawyer makes only a brief comment to the judge because obviously, he's dealing from the bottom of the deck now. He's really trying.
Be nice, sir.
He asked for a 30-year sentence. He goes, 30 years?
What do you think?
He's never had a criminal record, all this sort of thing.
He's
Come
in
on.
his 60s.
He's an older guy with 30 years. And he gets out in 20. Maybe when he's in his 80s, he can limp around somewhere. Yeah. Come on. But the prosecution hammered on the fact that he was disparaging Judith to friends and neighbors in the weeks and showing people pictures and talking about everything else, found in a motel room, fleeing, and the defense attorney called Novellino evil.
Jesus.
Evil, noting the savagery of the killing and how one of the 84 wounds penetrated 10 inches into her body. And again, brought up the pig mask again, and then put a pig mask on her. She then said that conduct is something nightmares are made of. He's not done mocking her. It's he's proud of it.
That's
talking
what
about
is.
The pig mask.
Regardless of how she's killed, granted 84 times that close is awful. That's like the worst way you can do it. But the pig mask is, after telling everybody that she's a pig, the pig mask is so much extra.
Yep.
So much extra.
Then denigrate her character further, and on top of killing her. So it's Anthony's turn to talk here.
Oh, God. He's going to say something?
He's got to say something here. I mean, he's either a nice guy who, something's got out of hand, or he's a fucking monster. So he's got to be like, hey, I'm a nice guy. Look at me over here, Yeah. He says, it's a tragedy what happened, and I'm sorry for my part in it. My part in it?
Who else's part?
It's all one action that you did. What do you there's no your part and other people's part. Your part is killing someone. Everyone else's part is arresting you.
James, in court, he's blaming her right now.
Yes. He's saying that my part in it was I went too far in defending myself is what he's saying.
Wow.
Which is not the thing to say to a judge after you're found guilty of murder. He said, unfortunately, our divorce was a regular, simple divorce, but family members got involved in it way before the divorce papers were served on me. I'm sorry for what happened. I'm not looking for any mercy. And he said he had complained before the murder that his divorce agreement forced him to give Judith more money than he wanted, and he's sorry for what happened.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for our divorce, but our murder obviously takes precedence.
The murder it's a little higher up the list. So the judge said that the killing, quote, goes beyond a murder.
Yeah.
He said, and he said that Novellino showed no mercy toward a woman whom he had spent more than 37 years with. He said, clearly, Judith Novellino was loved by many members of the community and her family. I see no evidence of remorse for life taken. You, sir, may fuck off 50 years.
Oh.
Now, he must serve 85% of that, which is 42 years and 6 months before parole. He is currently, when that happened, 64 years old. So, when he's almost 107, he has a chance of parole. Maybe.
Holy shit.
If they don't see that pig mask, because that's still going to freak people out 40 years from now.
That is the biggest tease on the. That is more edging than anybody's ever done.
Fuck you. That's a big fuck you, is what that is. You can see it, but you'll die before you get there. Don't worry. That's fucking awesome.
Holy fuck.
He could have got a life sentence, and the judge didn't explain. I think because he said 50 years means you're dead in prison. Who cares about life? It's the same thing. He said that, but he did say later, Novellino's not remorseful and has not accepted responsibility for a heinous, cruel, and depraved crime, which I agree with. 2014.
Yeah.
Anthony Jr.'s arrested again.
What did he do?
He's 30. This is going to get him a 3-year prison sentence. This combined with something that he's arrested with a couple days later here. He is found in Newark. He's arrested in Newark with 15 vials of cocaine and 19 envelopes of heroin.
You think he's selling?
Gee, 15 coke and 19 heroin? Maybe.
It
In
doesn't
Newark?
feel like personal use.
No. I feel like you'd empty that into one big bag probably if you had 19. Either that or he just robbed a drug dealer. One of the two. But only drug dealers have that much drugs like that.
Yeah.
So he ends up pleading guilty to a possession of heroin charge. And under the plea deal, prosecutors recommend a 3-year prison sentence with no period of parole ineligibility. So he can get parole whenever. Problem is then he has some other charges pending here. The judge points out his criminal record right now, which includes 17 adult arrests.
Unbelievable.
More youth arrests, too, but they don't get into that. 17 adult arrests, including 9 prior convictions, including 5 convictions for indictable offenses. Novellino Jr. here, Anthony Jr., has faced substance abuse issues related to alcohol, painkillers, cocaine, and heroin, whatever he can get in his body.
And he's probably selling to support the habit. That's what he's doing.
Absolutely. If he's a fucking junkie. They requested or rejected a request by Novellino's attorney to sentence him to time served. They said, the judge said, I think it would be far more appropriate to let the Department of Corrections decide when to release Mr. Novellino on parole. In light of his prior criminal history, I think Mr. Novellino's entitled to a lot of supervision, probably more than can be provided by the Department of Corrections. So he needs extra prison, is what he just said.
Yeah.
He needs supervision more than can probably even be provided by literally locking him up and watching him 24 hours a day.
We need specific
more than that.
guards to just change shifts, rotate, watching just that
him.
man.
Just Anthony Jr. here. So the other thing he's in for, why it's compounded, is the Parsippany police went to an Exxon on Route 46 and to meet with the owner of a 2005 Jaguar that was just stolen from right in front of the guy in the parking lot. The victim told police he came out of the store to see the Jaguar backing out of the parking space. He raised his arms like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Which is what you do, I guess. Right. What are you doing?
Are you kidding me?
And then he ran to try to block it, but the car just drove and he had to dive out of the way.
Oh, God.
So the vehicle was recovered undamaged in Newark. He just needed a ride to Newark.
Yeah, just had to go pick up.
So they end up investigating. They track it to Anthony Novellino Jr. He's the one who stole it. They find him at a Days Inn hotel located close to the Exxon station where he took it. He took the car, went to Newark to buy drugs, and then came back and dropped the car off by his dropped it off in Newark and then came back.
There's $54 a night hotel.
Fuck. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? It's all genetic, babe.
Yeah.
So the detectives kept his room under surveillance and then arrested him as he exited. The vehicle was recovered in Newark, like I said. That's fucking amazing. That's fucking wild that he did that. So he, I can't believe he almost hit the guy in the car. That's what's wild. The guy tried to block the car. He was like, fuck you, and gunned it.
It's mine now.
Mine now. So then Novellino now is recommended they sentence him to another year. So now he's got 4 years in prison, and he's got to serve 3 years and 4 months to be considered for parole now. Now he's got to serve 85%. He fucked himself good here. He acknowledged that he stole an idling Jaguar in Parsippany and then tried to use force by continuing to drive as the owner blocked his flight. He also admitted that unless sentencing is adjourned because of the new indictment. His plea offer. Never mind. Okay, so he's in prison in 2015. Yeah. They're both in prison. Not the same prison, but father, son in prison. Okay. Son's in prison. And by the way, whenever there's an article about him, it starts with, quote, the son of convicted wife killer Anthony F. Novellino, and then says what he did after that.
Wow.
That's amazing. So he's being held on drug and robbery charges, obviously. He's in the Morris County Jail, Novellino Jr., and the grand jury issues an indictment that charges him with aggravated assault on law enforcement officer at the jail.
Oh, God.
He's accused of repeatedly punching corrections officer Michael McCall in the face and head on March 29th. The indictment charges that Novellino purposely or knowingly recklessly caused bodily injury. He was being held in disciplinary detention unit because of some infractions, because he's an idiot. One of the infractions was hoarding prescription medication that he's supposed to swallow as soon as they give it to him, so he can get a buzz. They save it up and then get a buzz later. So this guard, McCall, the corrections officer, opened the door to the cell as part of a routine check, and Novellino was standing by the door and just lunged at him and repeatedly punched the shit out of him. Other officers responded, subdued and handcuffed Novellino. They took McCall to be examined, and then he ended up finishing his shift, the guy. Okay. He's like a hockey player. So he's going to get more time for that. So for Anthony Jr.'s, he's always going to be in and out of prison until he kicks this drug.
He's never getting out.
Unless he can stop doing drugs, it ain't happening. So then the appeal comes around for Frank Sr.
Oh, boy.
And they said that the pig mask was displayed to the jury, and they said that it was totally,
so inflammatory. Yeah.
Inflammatory. The judge said, though, contrary to the defendant's assertions, evidence of the mask inferentially established the defendant's identity as the murderer, corroborated the defendant's admissions that he stabbed Judith, and supported the credibility of his statements to the police. It also provided proof of defendant's motive, intent, and state of mind for the stabbing, and supported the state's theory that the defendant knowingly and purposely killed Judith in part because of his anger about her messiness in the household. Further evidence concerning the mask undermined defendant's theories that he acted in self-defense or by passion and provocation. We are therefore convinced that the premise for the defendant's various arguments that the court erred in admitting the evidence that the mask had little probative value is wholly contradicted by the record. Get fucked. They said also he tried to get the 9 hours of statements that he made thrown out. He said that he claims that he didn't knowingly and voluntarily make statements to the police, and they didn't honor his request to speak to an attorney. The appeals court found that the police scrupulously honored Novellino's request about speaking to a lawyer and found that Novellino himself specifically sought to resume talking to police by asking for them.
Oh.
The reason why when you're in jail, this is the Dahmer thing. They told Dahmer when they arrested him and he wanted to talk and tell them everything and figure out who people were. They told him every morning, you have to tell the guards you want to talk to us or you can't talk to us. We can't get you. You have to get us.
Oh.
Because a lawyer has been retained for you. Once a lawyer's involved in all that, if they go to you, it looks like they're harassing you, basically, and they're trying to get this out of you. Christ, that fucking accent came out there. I've been doing it too much, and it actually came out.
You got to ask for us,
They're harassing you, so you have to ask for the detective to show that you want it, because then they can't say that you came there and extracted a statement from them. You asked for them. So if he asked to talk to them, he can't say they harassed a statement out of him. That's what he's trying to say. So they say, fuck your appeal, die in prison, old man. Hope you're into your son, is what they said, basically. Now, the house I found, 16 Cliffside Trail in Denville, is still around. Still there. Saw pictures of it and everything. It sold in 2011.
Oh,
so
God, 2 years
it's
later.
Sold. Yeah, it's a year after the murder. It sold. So I don't know.
A year after.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's a year after it sold for $300,000. Then it's estimated at being worth $361,500 now. It's a 1,466 square foot house, just your basic split level Jersey family house.
Who gets that money? I guess the daughter and the son.
I don't know if he would be allowed to use that toward his
life,
toward his defense and toward whatever.
Oh, great point.
I would assume he would be allowed to, just minus the half that he owes to Judith. That would go into her estate, which would probably go to his kids, I would assume, or whoever she left it to. I don't know. But that's what I would assume what would happen, but I'm not an expert in New Jersey estate law.
Right. The
so
other
I don't
point
know.
is that if the divorce wasn't final yet, it's all
It
still
was final.
his.
It was final.
Okay, it was over.
Final. Yeah, it was over. He just had to make the actual payments and everything. So it was signed, sealed, delivered like 2 weeks before this.
Shit.
So there you go. That's the house. That's Denville, New Jersey. And that, everybody, is a crazy fucking murder. And just a little extra stink on that one, right?
Anybody that's been divorced certainly understands, but you don't do that.
You understand the desire.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. Everybody gets the desire at one time or another during a divorce to go, Jesus Christ, it'd be so much easier to just fucking kill that. Everybody said that. That's fine. To actually start thinking about it is crossing a fucking multitude of lines that you shouldn't cross.
Far. Yeah.
It's so far. It is far. Because, over the course of decades of the most personal interaction possible, where everything is tied together, you're raising your family, your bills, your finance, everything's all intertwined. If you start fighting, that shit can get real nasty if you're getting a divorce. And I can see the acrimony building up and people wanting to do this, but you can't do this.
No.
This is fucking nuts. So, especially with the pig mask. Come on, man.
You got to swallow your pride and just look at how much peace you're about to have.
Yes, exactly.
One way or the other. Even if you're the agitator,
yes,
you don't have anybody that's bothering you any longer.
No, and it's the Bronx Tale theory.
Yeah.
You like that guy? Is he your best friend? No? Well, then it took you $20 it cost you to get him out of your life forever. He'll never ask you for anything again. That's what it is. Yeah. Look at it like that. Yeah. Fucking move on. So there you go. If you like that show or any of the other shows, tell the world about it. It helps a lot. Honestly, do whatever app you're on, give us 5 stars, please. It does help. Right. But the biggest way this show spreads is word of mouth.
Yeah.
They can try to advertise it all they want. We can do swap things with other shows. We can do all that shit. We can have
a Super Bowl ad. It doesn't fucking matter.
It does not matter. Word of mouth. 100 million people could see something, and it won't get as much traction as if 10,000 people tell their friends. That's what'll do it, because that's
doing it.
Recommendations from your friends on something as personal as a podcast is how you spread it. So thank you for doing that. Keep it up. Tell everybody. Make it a point this week. Go out and tell a few people about Small Town Murder. Right. It helps a lot. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
And the other point is, like, to your point is that, like, I can watch commercials all day long, but you telling me to watch the Pepsi documentary, I watched it. You telling me to watch specific things. It's because
you do the same thing.
You like things? I like those. I'll watch it.
You're my friend. We have similar tastes. I'd like to see it too. Then we can talk about
fucking Pepsi.
Yeah, exactly. Giving me a goddamn jet, and then we can talk about it too, which is fun.
Right.
So do that. Thank you for doing that, everybody that does that. Definitely follow us on social media. We're at Small Town Pod on Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, at Murder Small on Twitter. Follow us all there. Get all the up-to-date things. You'll know when the second half of tickets go on sale, because we'd have the first half are on sale right now, so you can get your tickets anytime you want. You can go on there right now. If you'd like to come to the St. Louis show, especially, and Cleveland too, I recommend getting your tickets ASAP, because they're going very quick. They're the ones in February, so get those, especially St. Louis. Holy shit, that was wild. So get your all that stuff there. Your tickets at shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get those. I don't think you'll need the pre-sale code by the time this comes out, so you're good there.
No, should be okay.
I don't think so. It's Tase Me with a Z, just in case. But there you go. Quickly over the dates. Yeah, one word. February the 10th in Cleveland. February the 11th in St. Louis. I think they're only selling the Friday show in Seattle right now. And if that sells out quick, then they'll add the Thursday show as well. So Seattle in March 24th, Portland March 25th, Detroit on May 5th, and Pittsburgh on May 6th. Yes. Those are the ones for sale right now. And then after that, at the beginning of the year, they'll put the rest up. That's San Diego, Salt Lake City, Denver, Minneapolis, Chicago, Atlanta, Charlotte, Philly, and Washington. So, and then also New York, Boston, Milwaukee, Phoenix is coming. Yeah. Definitely. So we have all those coming. Get your tickets. We cannot wait to come to see you people. Mm-hmm. Come out to a live show and see us. I will guarantee you this. You know what? We don't ever like to say anything bad about podcasts, and we won't say anything bad about any specific shows because it's not about anybody specific. No. Yeah. We do the best live comedy podcast show in the fucking business. Right. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that we've had people who work in these theaters and clubs go, holy shit, I've never seen a fucking podcast live that was actually a comedy show. Right. My ribs hurt, and I work here. Right. That's how we throw down. To us, it's a comedy show based around this murder, but the pictures and everything else, we want laughs all the time. It's not a lecture.
I want you to come see it again.
Yes, and that's the thing that's the biggest compliment is we get so many. Nobody goes once. Right. If you go once, you'll be back. Like, we know that. Yeah. Just come once, we'll get you. Don't worry. Yeah. You will definitely want to come back to that. And the community in there is so much fun. People hang out together. They make friends. Like, oh, you're the people I know online, too. And they fucking, it's awesome to watch. Thank you so much for coming out and seeing us and doing that. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. Also, you want to go to Patreon.com/crimeandsports. That's where you get all the bonus materials. Yeah. Anybody $5 or above, and that is inflation proof. I'll tell you that right now. Anybody $5 or above, you are going to get, first of all, whole back catalog, 150 episodes of bonus stuff, but new ones too. Every other week, you are going to get one crime and sports, one small town murder. Never fails. And this week, what you're going to get is for crime and sports, you're going to get the some crazy stories from the ABA, American Basketball Association, 60s, 70s craziness. We did the Reggie Harding episode a couple weeks ago on crime and sports, and the story of him in the room with the gun, with the guy, and fucking, you think I only had 6 bullets, all that shit. Yeah. That's just a normal ABA story. That's the type of ABA story that we have. We have tons of those. So I'm going to give a bunch of ABA stories. And then for small town murder, on the other hand, that's going to be a lot of fun here. We are going to talk about video games that apparently make people kill based on people's accusations, which I think is bullshit, obviously. But we're going to talk about people blaming video games for death and murder and destruction. We talked about music and books and all that shit in another episode. Now we're going to talk about video games and get into all of that.
So much deeper.
There's so much of it. Yeah. It's wild. So we'll get into, I guess, because video games came around and that's when more technology was out, news, social media. So either way, we'll get into all that stuff. That is patreon.com/crimeandsports. And you know what else you're going to get? A shout out. Yeah. And when do you get that shout out? Right now. Fucking now. Hit me with those names, Jimmie, and put a pig mask on me, baby.
This week's executive producers are Franny Hitsky in Australia, Ty Yeager, I think it's Yeager, it might be Jager. In Texas, Lori Simmons, Natasha Danielle Thompson, Sneer Holloway. Sneer, is that right? No, it's not Sneer. It is Sneer. Holloway? I maybe spelled that wrong. And Cody Leversey, thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Other producers this week are Travis Tessier, happy birthday. Queen Anne and her cat Monkey, Brandy Huntley, Liz Vasquez, Sharon Jones. I'm not doing shoeies. That's never, ever happening. That's disgusting. You know, that's where you'd pour a beer into your shoe and drink it. I'm not doing that. It's not happening.
Why would you do that?
People in Australia or somewhere else like to do that. I think it's Australia.
That's something you do in the 10th grade that you challenge somebody to do. Yeah. Or grow up, Australia.
Play fucking rugby. Megan McDermott, Cody Leversey. I said that in Detroit. Peyton Meadows. Thomas Smith is listening while baking. Jonathan Phipps, Janice Hill, Polivus Bessafius, Bass Vicious. What a cool name. Madison Doughton, Carrie Jervis, Stephanie Seeloff, Justin Klein, Ashley Lundler, Levi Wiley, Lindsay Etherton maybe, Cavi J, Joanna Cacacho Krant, Jessica with no last name, Shaylee Napolsky, Jennifer Gorman, Patricia Stone, Aaron Blue, Stephen Silsby, Dee Dee McMillan, Matt Fields, Brandy with no last name, Holly Davidson, Andrew Wright, Lee Wyatt, Brian B, Tiana Harms, Maddie Wooliver, Max Power, Adam Clark, Devin Crook, Diane Parnell, Chase Quinn, Tuesday Johnson, Caitlin Rose, Nick Howard, Zach Macon, Lauren Jones, Nicole Gardano, Leanne Searcy, Lacey K, Isaac McCalla, Amy Cuomo, Teresa with no last name, Lacey Lee, Megan Shirley, Laura Swope, Samantha Kennedy, Jonathan Bennett, Virginia Lumsden, Nando Soto, Blake Field. Nope, that's Blake Banfield. God damn it, Jack Mehoff. Are you proud of yourself with Jack Mehoff? Really?
Thanks,
you
Bart
dug
Simpson.
that deep.
Thanks for the money. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Kim
you can put
Lowry,
what you want, but
Zach Jordan, Hotbod Kev. Come on, Kevin. Teodoro or Urias, Matthew
Big Papa
Thompson.
Kevin, Pump.
Big Papa Pump Kev. Alex Parker, Wesley Nobles, Iris Woody, Raina Speaks, Rachel Young, Kayla Fitzsimmons, Wendy Nathan, Ramona Jorgensen, Ashley Breyer, Maureen Corcoran, Stacy Kraut, Dover Girl, Destiny Pearson, Candace Haley, Felicia O'Neill, Rebecca Coxon, Blake Starker, Shay Rennie, Kate Quigg, Atlas OT. Oh, no, that's double O. Courtney Harrison, Macy Procell, Carson Stout, Brooke Noel, Brandy Huntley, Casey Locke, Francis Brown, Melinda Hardy, Ashley Dale, Anissa Mitchell, Jake Young Johnson, Jack Young. What is that? Jake Young, I don't know. Rhonda O'Quinn, Sarah Humble, Heather Watts, Emily Fabian, Carolyn Petrorius, Mac Bryant, Tenacious Warden, Al Schmitz, Chantel with no last name, Victoria Allen, Chris Sarr, Garrett Joseph, Eileen Oaks, Nathaniel Ramos, Kara Mia, Michael Dixon, Adam Skelton, Callie Grant, Agnes Zakowitz, Todd DeFore, Spider Dan, Nicole Moreno, Bobby McGew, Shelby Fairchalk, Mary Elizabeth Hawkins, Joe Vetito, Matine Hill, Rowena Hill, Amanda Stout, John Patreon, Howie with no last name, Nicole with no last name, Sarah Ogden, Austin with no last name, Jamie Ray Parker, Alex Schumann, Tanya Osborne Mackenzie, Jennifer B., Dottie Sloan, Colleen LeClaire, Michelle Arachichi, Franklin, Stacy Goodlin, Cassandra Coelho, Matthew Nelson, Matthew Beal, Jeanette with no last name, Ryan Pasica, Mandy Hansen, Randy Myers, probably not, Dale Oren, Monica Siana Vey, Jessica Higgins, Stacy Helsing, Charla Mack, Charles, maybe? Michelle Sinisi, Douglas Robertson, Jacob with no last name, Kyle Mintz, Dan Davis, Esther Chapman, Jamie McDougall, Dimitri with no last name, Ramiro Raposo, Steve with no last name, Donnie King, Gina Marion, Yvonne Kelly Schiller, Christy Cates, Ben Adler, Mark Summers, probably not that guy, right? Was that guy from Double Trouble?
Double Dare?
Double Dare.
Double Dare.
Melissa Carey, Glenn Ray, Courtney Johnston, Christopher DeCorte, Rob Tassar, Tina Gardner, Caitlin Kearns, Stephanie Fields, Lindsay Pohar, Grammy Pammy, Emily Norman, Brittany Bird, Ashley Towles, Jennifer MF and Haya, Susanna, Susan Ventura, Kyle and Charlotte, Jamie Fraser, and all of our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, so much for all that you do for us. We do appreciate the shit out of every drop of it. So thank you for what you do. We'll keep the bonus stuff coming if you keep the ears coming as well.
Ew.
Thank you for everything. Ew. Yeah, it's just, I breathed and I was like, I just can't believe I just said that. Your ears are
we'll keep coming. Wait.
If your ears are coming, maybe that's something you should have looked at, I think, possibly. If you
I don't know how to say it without it being gross.
It's disgusting. Bring your ears and we'll come on them. Nope, that's not it either. Damn it. You want to follow us on social media? Yep. Very easy to do that. You just go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Links are all right there. Thank you so much, everybody. And until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus